humans, some are aliens. Yeah, lots of aliens. They're traveling around. They're like Star Wars, traveling around the universe.
Hello. Got to deal with some customers.
It's for you.
Cool. Let me get your picture real quick with the or her picture. Nobody knows. Nobody gets the OP reference because they don't know the nickname yet.
I'm gonna put. I'm one of the 7 dwarfs. You're gonna hold this in a pin and take a picture for mommy.
She doesn't want to be on the witness protection.
I don't.
She looks so thrilled.
Smile and pretend we're going somewhere really fun. Thank you. Yeah, no, those pins are super cool.
All right, let me.
Have fun on your shirt.
All right, yeah, send your old man down here, man.
I will.
All
Get 'em.
right.
Do you want a shirt and a pin? Okay.
How many shirts do I got left? I got to give away some tonight for the.
You have 1,
I should have 3 more.
2, 3, in there.
Okay. So I got to give those away. I'm gonna hide that box.
Hide that box.
There's 3 in there, and there's 1 in there.
There's 3 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
You want to put it in here?
Yeah. Cool. Perfect. Because she just gave me more tickets to give away. All right. Let me see. All right. See you later. Hope maybe I should keep that down, even though this is not the mic. How's everybody doing? Can everybody hear me? So first, before I get started, I want to make sure I get everything working because the technical difficulties is what kept. How about that? All right, cool.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but hold on. I gotta change my device to there's a lot of things I gotta do here to make sure that we don't get crazy. So the mic is gonna be the mic can be speakers, but the speakers have to be all right, we're good. Think we're okay here. All right, cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this started. How you doing, Daniel Martin? I'm gonna go ahead and get this started, and
Is there a link that you send out through Twitch or something, or are we just following along
yeah,
on HBO or whatever?
No. I have the Twitch link right now. I put it in the chat.
I see
I'll
it.
go ahead and do it
I
again.
see it.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and click on that now to get you in. And then right now, what I'm going to go ahead and do is make sure that this version of StreamYards is not broadcasting any sound. All right, cool. So here we go. So we're going to go to present, share screen. Make sure we're getting it on Twitch. Let's make sure. All right, I'm going to start it real quick just to make sure we're on the same page here. It's weird because I got two StreamYards windows open, so bear with me, guys. My first time doing this without Vince. Hold on.
I'm at all zeros on
Make sure.
Max. I'm gonna get your Twitch going so I could just line everything up.
Okay. All right. So
Brad's supposed to be joining us today for the movie. Do you know?
He may be, but since we had to switch the days,
Mm-hmm.
So unmute. Just want to make sure that our sound is right because I don't want it to broadcast do the wrong things. That's not right. Let's go to StreamYard. The only way you can actually test things is to actually run it too. That's the only thing that sucks. All right, Amazon Basics. Might have to do this the hard way. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to unplug.
Looks like I took over the show, everybody. So what are we going to be talking about now? Oh, okay.
Oops. Ooh, camera. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you sound worse than you did for sure. Like you sound a lot better just like 5 seconds ago.
How about now?
Same as just a second ago. Not much. I can hear you. You just don't sound as good as you did. So I mean, we can still hear you though.
Okay.
I mean, I can anyway.
I think. Let's go to audio.
Where are you at, Daniel? Where you're freezing? Oh yeah, there's a big Sci-Fi Center giveaway. We're giving away Daniel's favorite shirt. It's a Hoosier shirt. So I think it's only been washed once, so you get all of Daniel's essence on it. Is it 12 p.m. on November 12th, Ruth, or is it still November 11th where you're at? Daniel, I'm originally from Minnesota, so I get the weather. But I will say today and right now it is 75 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not sure what the conversion is for Ruth, but it's not 0 or 32 or any of that nonsense. I retired from doing that.
It's about 60 here. There we go. All right. Might not sound as good. What mic am I on? But we're going to get this started because this is a 3-hour movie. Default speaker. All right. So we're both on this one, and let me make sure that I am. Hold on. All right. Cool. We're all set. All right. I heard somebody was freezing. Who's freezing?
Ruth and Daniel are both freezing.
Well,
not
there's
freezing.
nothing
Not
happening
freezing
right
on internet. Freezing, literally freezing, like it's cold out.
Oh, I'm like, God damn it!
Come on, man. You just told us it was 60 degrees.
All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and start this. I'm going to. Hey, well, going from the 114 that it was when I left for Comic-Con. So, all right, guys. I'm going to start this, but I actually got customers coming in and out picking up their Hunger Game stuff, and customers in the store. So I'm going to come back and forth. I'm not even when I'm here, I'm not going to do a lot of talking. Even though this is a watch along, I know it's kind of weak. The reason why is there's a lot to follow in this movie, and there's a lot of subtitles that you need to read. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys read those, and then we'll discuss things a little bit afterwards. All right, and later on tonight. But like right now, we're just going to get the movie going, and everybody, let me know if everything's a go once I start. And we are starting right now.
Hey, Raya, how you doing? Samir.
How you doing, everybody? Sorry, I didn't say hi to everybody.
Yeah, customers. I'll pick up your slack, man. They know you're here.
All right. Why am I having an issue with Twitch? Oh, I know why. I screwed up. Hold up. Hold on. Let's see. I'll be right with you, dude. Here we go. All right. Now. Here we go. Bam.
Raya's got a question about Sci-Fi Center merch and where we can get it.
You can head over. You can be here in person, or you can head over to the sci-fi-center.com. Mm-hmm. And if whatever there that is not linked, let me know, because it's all going to be going on the link eventually. In fact, that's what I'm going to be here all night doing, is adding stuff, because we're getting ready for Black Friday. So eventually 99.9% of everything that's in the store will be available on the site by next Thursday. All right, how's everybody doing?
She asked the right question at the right time then, huh? The Twitch is, you started it over twice already, right?
Yeah, I had to get it right connected. So everybody's watching, everybody's good?
Mm-hmm.
All right,
I can't speak for everybody, but yeah.
Okay. Everybody give me a thumbs up. Hi, Rhea. Oh, you meant official Sci-Fi Center merch, as in like the stuff I wear. That's coming too. Gotcha.
Sounds like you need to make Raya VP of marketing, man. She's trying to she's trying to hustle your wares more than you, man.
Everybody,
Hey, man. I'll
Yeah,
get there.
I'm behind here.
How
Yo,
you
Brad.
doing?
good man. Guess I was a little bit behind getting in today.
I'm just making sure everything is okay before I go deal with this customer real quick.
Right.
No, it's all right. I was a little bit behind in getting started.
We definitely got
Just want
plenty
to
of
make sure
time
there's
with this
not a
one.
delay or anything. Oh, that's a lot of credits. My goodness.
There's a lot of people in this movie.
All right, guys. I'll be right back.
Right.
What's up, man?
Anybody watching? That's where you can pull it up from.
Stay, Brad.
I'm just saying, yes. Anybody watching? This is where you can actually pull the movie up from to correspond it to what we're doing.
William has it going on his Twitch, and I just kind of I'm watching on HBO Max, but I have it lined up with his Twitch just in case
Okay.
something relevant comes up. I can give you a timestamp if you want.
I got him in.
All right.
How you doing, man? I know. Yeah. This one.
Pull that down now.
I need to keep it.
I'm not sure the answer to that, Raya, but William was streaming. He was going through like a show a couple of weeks ago that we were talking about it, and it was on YouTube because I don't think it has a licenser in this country, and he didn't get flagged.
Yeah.
I'll send you a message later.
Okay.
Hey Ruth, how you doing?
But basically, price these out. Don't stamp it until the weekend sale.
Mhm.
And Friday, Saturday, Sunday, through first, second, third. You have sales money.
Okay.
You know, as part of it. And it's a small bit. If someone comes and presents the checklist,
Mhm.
that's when the present the
Present
check.
the check.
Stamp.
And I give them a gift.
Whatever you want.
Okay. Well, boy, yeah, if I got a menu, that would be great. Thank you. I got plenty. Cool. It sounds like fun. That's it forward thinking right there. That's good. I'm all for it, man. I'm glad to be a part of it.
It's also people don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of like what Pre-Comic Book Day does. Pre-Comic Book Day does that because they get everybody instead of just a regular stores. I think we should. To be honest
I
with
was
you.
already thinking, if this goes over as cool as I think it is, this is the holiday edition. I'm thinking that we'll do
Okay.
Free Comic Day is what it is.
May 1st, yeah. That's actually bigger than Black Friday for me. That's like my highest grossing day of the year. Comic.
We need to call for that.
Yeah.
We need to call for late June, early July. There's no shows in July.
Yeah, because of the heat. So,
Yeah.
all right, man, I'm down. Let me,
I need to do your stuff. So
let me know if there's any other instructions.
next time, so here to see you.
I used to buy it. Saturday.
He did tell me that they're trying to.
Yeah.
For like another, it was like another year. But he was saying pump it up more. So
Well, they are. He's in a spot that they want there because that guy there, the art guy, he's gonna raise up a lot. They're wanting to make that a high end, and
so
he's gonna. I could have told him from day one that I didn't think he was. If he would have talked to me, I would have told him, not just because he's in the same parking lot as me, I would have told him the only place that he would be able to afford to stay a long time would have been in the Plaza, and we wouldn't have signed him because I was here. But he probably should go east, probably go west, because they are price him out. He's only got, I know that spot. He's only got, yeah, he's only got a small space, and I know Chris Mizuno who leases that, so I know the price. I mean, and that's, I would never be able to go over there. So I think he's going to end up having to move because the value he's going to get for the square footage he has is not for a comic book store. Right. Even if you're pulling in great numbers, how good your numbers are, at some point it's just not. I know that I came from that plaza. I was on State Street, so I know what I was paying, and that was back in the day, and that was before there was any high end stuff there. So,
so they're pricing them out.
They're going to end up probably pricing them out. So he would. How long does he have left on the lease? You think?
I said he had like a year left on this, but then they told him they are giving him like 2 months. Or something like that.
That means they have somebody in there that they can get more money out of. And if I'm him, and if he knows the number's going to be crazy, then I'd get out now. I mean, why disrupt your?
If he has 9 months left on his lease,
he's contractually obligated to them. They are not contractually obligated to him. If there's a mutual out, if they say we'll give you 2 months, he's not on the hook for paying the lease. He's off. You would have to buy them out. But if the number's not good, if they give a number that he can't sustain, then he needs to do, because it was going to be the same with these guys. These guys wanted to do the same thing, but I negotiated 3 points to get right, and we're still at a crossroad. But because this got bought up, I couldn't sign my lease. I was going to sign a 5-year lease, but because it's escrow, they can't. You can not legally do things like that once it's done. But once escrow is over with, my lease goes into effect, and I'll be here for 5 years. But I had to negotiate that but I had negotiated leverage. That one is not. They because he's on the front. Paradise. He's got the steakhouse next to him. He's got another anchor franchise on the other side of him. They're gonna want what they consider to be market value. Fuck market value. That's what these guys told me. I'm like, your market value and what I can afford are 2 different things. We're gonna need to talk to get in the middle. But I don't know if that plaza, because I know Chris. I don't know if he's gonna have the negotiating room.
I don't think he's going to have any.
Yeah.
I think he definitely could.
Yeah.
But
That would suck. I hate seeing people close what they love doing. I mean, there are some spaces
from
around
the background of Rebel Moon
town,
that
but
planet the Sophia Boutella character is a farm planet, right? Or she is a farmer, right?
Yeah, she's a former soldier in the Imperium, and she's joined the farm planet. And yeah, already I can see it's like from the trailer, it looks a lot like this.
I don't think anybody realizes just how fucking tough this is. It's fun, but it's all that negotiation. Yeah. I envy you sometimes because it can be crazy. It can be crazy. And not only have a is your negotiating.
No, you're not kicked from the panel, Ruth. I thought it was okay, but I mean, that's actually one thing I like about you. One thing I like about you, Ruth, is that you're not a you're
all right, man. We'll be in touch, but yeah, keep me posted on what's going on. I mean,
a lot of what we run into on the internet.
I hate or something like that. I don't. I mean, he has had no bearing on it.
And of course, Ray is too.
Yeah.
We send people to each other, so I'd hate to see him go, but I understand he can't be caught in that situation because I'd rather walk away than be forced out. But
I'll tell him his stuff.
All right, cool, man. Thanks. All right, how are we doing?
We're good. And, we were actually kind of discussing while you were helping that gentleman out. Sophia Boutella's, her character Cora in Rebel Moon. She's her backstory is that she's used to be a soldier for the Imperium, and now she's kind of gone to exile on this farm planet. I can already see from look at the trailer and comparing it to say, it does look a lot like this. It's like a space version of the village design here.
Dude. Okay. When I lower that, is that lowering it for you guys too?
Lowering what?
Or no?
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, yeah, because I had it really super loud. But yeah, this when you read the synopsis, like I was saying, read the synopsis for this, and then read the synopsis for Rebel Moon. It's like you you get excited. You get excited about the fact that you can tie the direct lineage directly to it. So I'm happy. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna find other stuff that we can watch because, like I said, I really, and I'm gonna actually change the label to. I should have named it "Countdown to Rebel Moon," Samurai, Seven Samurai, because there's gonna be other stuff that influence. And tomorrow, like I said, we're gonna be in store for a long one because after that trailer comes out tomorrow, we're gonna be like doing an autopsy on that. We also have, in fact, I'm working on the thumbnail right now while I'm online with you guys for tonight. And I'm almost done. We're going to talk Loki. I'm going to let Brad get happy and talk
the Marvels.
Talk Airbender.
Oh, the
Marvels.
Yeah.
Airbender.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely be happy with Airbender.
We're going to talk Millie Bobby Brown's portion of that whole Netflix thing with the damsel. We'll talk that. We're going to talk our comic books turning point story is going to be. Hold on, let me turn this down on my end because it's really loud. Let me know if I screw with your guys' sound. All right, I have it muted, so as long as you guys can hear it, okay, cool.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
We are our comic book turning point story is going to be the Rise of Apocalypse. You've heard me bring that up before, but now with the whole Kang thing going on, if we're actually going to talk this storyline because it includes Immortus, it includes Apocalypse, and it includes where I think that this whole thing might be going, and I think people should start picking up these books. We're all the album or the I don't even should I be calling them albums or am I aging myself as a 90-year-old? But the musical topic album or release, whatever the fuck you want to call it,
Still called albums,
is going to be Bush 16 Stone, one of the best albums. What's up?
They're still called albums.
Okay,
Yeah,
so the album of the week it's gonna be Bush 16 Stone, one of my favorite all-time albums of that era. Their best album. They released other stuff that had great songs, but Bush 16 Stone defined that era that I always refer to. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking Loki in detail. We will be doing spoiler talk for Loki. We'll do a spoiler review for the Marvels. I'll let Brad handle that. I'll let Brad get excited about Last Airbender because I'm just not. I'm not that I hate it.
I might be chomping down.
But I know you. I need it. As long as I have Brad here, I need to start. Well, I need to start putting out stuff that I'm not necessarily in. Otherwise, it'll be an echo chamber of just shit I like, and that gets stale. So Brad, you can have at it. I'll be going to the bathroom and getting my food from Sister Kim's.
Well, Spider-Man was literally just asking last night. It's like, hey, you're the martial arts guy, Brad. Why don't we bring on topics to that end on Saturday? I mean, Avatar definitely falls into that, and so Seven Samurai. So there we go.
Yeah, there we go. We'll talk more Seven Samurai too, but like I said, after you guys see it. And you guys can see the parallels. And then I have a little thing that if you bring up, there's an article that I'm going to bring up that has the parallels of Seven Samurai as they apply to a whole bunch of other movies. So obviously they won't have one for this one yet because it hasn't been released. However, you'll get the gist of the conversation as we go on. So
yeah, well, I'm gonna go ahead and because I've got the Wikipedia for Seven Samurai right here, and it hasn't got Rebel Moon listed in there yet, but it's in the section under cultural impact, listing all kinds of stuff and influenced. And right down here at the bottom, director Zack Snyder said Bruce Wayne is having to go out and sort of Seven Samurai, the Justice League together in the 2020 film Zack Snyder's Justice League, which, as I mentioned, he already stated out for for his JL. That's the template he was going for was basically superhero Seven Samurai. So he's done that already now with one of a very pivotal movie in his filmography, and now he's doing the same with Rebel Moon. So he's kind of going from superhero Seven Samurai to Seven Samurai in a Galaxy Far, Far Away.
Hunter Iggy, William, what are your thoughts on James Gunn not changing the release date? I still am a skeptic of that it'll come out then, but it's also, I just realized it hit me. Now this strikes over. It is 20 months away. And that's going to be another thing we're going to bring up tonight. I'm going to talk about this release date, but after that, personally, I'm going to put a moratorium on the Gunverse, simply because it's 20 months away.
Yeah.
That just smacked me right in the head, just how much time there is between now, actually over 20 months away. It's like, so, and like I said, just because he stands behind this date doesn't mean, and like I said, that's a good date to shoot for, but there are things, look at Blade. I'm pretty sure we thought Blade was going to be out at a certain time. We just don't know. There are certain things in a production that just happen that nobody has control over. And you got to, I don't know if he's making allowances for that as well, but if he is, great. But, technically, actually, I wish it were sooner, because 20 months that's adding 20 months onto the 9 years of what I've had to think about, and it just doesn't help. So.
One, now to speak to that data, I think it was Phil had mentioned to me earlier that maybe part of the reason why Gunn is trying to be so adamant about maintaining that date. I think that's the date or it's close to when his father passed away, so that it has some sentimental value to him. Now I agree with you. It's like maintaining that data is still, I think it's going to be kind of it's kind of a roll of the dice, but I think that plays into why he's got that date so locked in as kind of his target date.
Then that I can understand. And being honest with you, hey, listen, I'm not rooting against him. As long as you're making the movie that you want to make and you're not having to cut any corners. I wish it was sooner. I wish it was July of 2024, but obviously that's not realistic under any circumstances. I just don't want to fall into the same apathy trap that I'm about to fall in with Marvel, because, like I said, I know where they're going. I can map out where I think they're going with all this. It's just like, it's taking too fucking long, dude. And I have short attention span, and a good percentage of the audience does that too. We can pay attention to a lot of things as long as you keep it coming. Once that spigot gets turned off, we're like dogs. We go pick up the ball and roll it around. We go start chewing on your furniture. We don't have things to do. Our mind starts going in places to, and those places are far away from what you want me to be thinking about. Like, it's like, damn, look at this, Dune. Here comes Dune. Now here comes this. Like right now, bringing up Superman Legacy is like when I got Dune, even though it's in March, it's way sooner than July. I have Rebel Moon. I have all kinds of stuff in between now and then that will take my brain energy. It's just like 20 months. So yeah, we're gonna put a moratorium on it. And when the news happens, it happens. But I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on it. Not because I'm a hater. It's fucking 20 months, man. That's a long marathon to run, and I don't have the long capacity anymore. So
as the town in the
all right.
so
So
like the town from the It movie.
I'm glad that HBO Max did it. Yeah. And this is right now what we're doing in this movie is who's clicking in? Am I clicking in, or are you guys clicking in?
That was me. Sorry, I just saw something with the Roots. I think.
Oh, okay.
Say what?
Yeah. Well, anyway, go ahead, William.
There's a clicking sound. Am I clicking in, or is that you guys?
No.
What we're looking at right now is basically they're establishing the menace that is,
the marauders or the bandits.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah.
They're
They're
setting up the threat of
establishing
the
the menace that is the town. Mm-hmm.
Also, William, I know that you say that Star Wars picks up on this a lot. I tend to disagree. I think the tour or the Kurosawa movie that matches Star Wars is The Hidden Fortress. So much so to the point that, like, they did it on Disney Plus. They did the little Star Wars anime, and they referenced A New Hope as.
Oh no! I don't disagree with you at all. You're right. You're right. When I say Star Wars, I mean a Kurosawa in general, not Seven Samurai in general.
Okay.
Seriously, yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got that. And there's a couple other movies, dude, that kind of amalgamate with it. But yeah, it's him in
Dam
general.
Busters. Dam Busters is a World War II movie. That is the whole trench run from the end of Star Wars 1 or A New Hope.
Mm-hmm. And then there's some Empire Strikes Back that has influence from him too.
Oh yeah, what do you have that influences Empire Strikes Back from
What was
Kurosawa?
the movie? And I had it pulled up the other day. The Snow, where and they actually played it. Lucas actually played it like back to back,
Mm,
like side by side, where Luke is in the snow searching, and then there's one of his characters that is. I'm gonna have to look it up in between this and now. Now, remember in Rebel Moon, there's sexual violence. Remember that
yeah.
in this movie,
Yeah.
if I can recall, because it's been quite a while since I've seen it. There's an attempted rape in this movie where the bandits are trying to take advantage of one of the local townfolk girls.
Yeah.
I'm a monk. Stay back. It's a funny thing because if you look at monks, what are Jedi's essentially?
Yeah, they're basically like they're shallow monks or samurai. Yeah.
Warrior monks.
Mm-hmm.
But I told you before, William, when Lucas first came up with the story for Star Wars, they were called Jedi Bendu. The fighting style for the Bene Gesserit, which are the warrior nuns on Dune, is Prana Bendu. George Lucas got a lot of influence from a lot of stuff, and his original draft
We
for
should
Star
do. You know, we
Wars.
should.
I told you about. I asked you
Yeah.
about if you had
For
that
our
Dark
march
Horse
towards.
comic. Go ahead.
You cut out. Go ahead. Or you?
I
No,
was
go ahead and
saying I
finish your
told
thought.
you about.
If I had the Doctor comic.
I had talked to you about a comic before from Dark Horse. It's called The Star Wars. It's a comic. I think it was made in 2013 or 2015. It's a comic. It's a comic book written and drafted after his original draft of Star Wars. So it's Anakin Starkiller, Ben Skywalker, Darth Vader and the Emperor, or
I know
you're
what you're
muted,
talking about,
William.
but I don't have it. I know exactly which I do not have.
It's
I need
good.
to get
It's
that.
good. The artwork is really good, and it really captures what that short story, The Force of the Wills, was.
Oh shit!
It
Why am
really
I
gets
talking?
that down.
I'm talking. Can you hear me now?
I know you're like stopping and starting when you're talking. I'm peeping that. The internet connection.
How about now?
You're better now.
Now, good. Okay, good. What's going on, guys?
Yeah.
Did you see that cool kill scene?
Yes. Yeah, I have a feeling that the kind of the in Rebel Moon, the part in the trailer looks like it's taking place like in a mine, might be kind of meant to be sort of kind of the parallel to this. Yes, Ruth, I did see that. Yeah, they are apparently scripting John Wick 5 right now. It's like I'm so torn because it's like four had a perfect ending, but I will never say no to more John Wick. But I love closing the book on stuff in the with the best ending you can give it. So it's like I'm so 50-50 about that. But we'll see how it shakes out, how they would actually continue the Baba Yaga's tale after John Wick 4's ending. That'd probably be something like William could get me if he wanted me to do like any kind of John Wick breakdowns. I could do that for a really long time on the stream. Oh, by the way, William, look who's in the chat. Again, Chap, if you want to come on, you're welcome to, but dude, please keep the laughing to a minimum. They had talked about doing that with the Wick 4 and 5, but I guess Stahelski kind of decided against it.
I like the perspective in a lot of these shots when they show they use the foreground and the background.
Yeah. And how I think I've caught, like, how close was this film to Mount Fuji? I think I've kind of caught Mount Fuji in the background a few times.
When I've watched Ron and I watched Kagemusha, the two ones that he did in color.
Yeah.
They were definitely out in the mountains and the fields and all that for real. So they were. I wouldn't be surprised if they were right by Mount Fuji, like you're saying.
Definitely not made for that much.
Oh, geez, I didn't even know this until tonight that because I got the Wikipedia for Seven Samurai up that it was a Toho movie. I didn't even know that. So the Godzilla, the company behind
Right.
Oh, you didn't know that?
Toho's
Oh,
like-
that, yeah.
I did not-
Toho's like a Warner
I had-
Brothers in Japan, dude. It's like you.
well, I knew
Toho.
that, but for some reason that slipped by me that Toho was had done Seven Samurai too. I was today years old when I found that out. That's okay.
Toho is like Warner Brothers and Toei's like Disney.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's,
well, you liken it to Warner Brothers. I mean, the Godzilla would be like their Bugs.
Now it's been distributed. Yeah, they've distributed it over and over again. But yeah, Toho was initially the ones that produced it. So let's see where we at.
No, it's not made by Toto Droga.
So pay attention to this monk. It's Joe. How many Australians I got in the chat right now? Is Aaron here?
I don't think I see her, but yeah, we got a lot of Australians and British and here. Yeah, if I could find any. I don't have any on me right now, but
Oh, that means you getting on camera. Oh hell! Unless you're gonna blur your face out. You're gonna blur your face out if you do it.
no, I'm not gonna.
Is this getting sold too?
Actually, I took some pretty good hits last night. Actually, sparring. So yeah, it's like my face. I mean, it's not bad, but I mean, I had like a little bit of a bruise right above my eyebrow. Yeah, I was about to pull that up.
I was just messing with you, Chappie.
Yeah, we're not like
we were gonna bring you in. No, I wasn't. I was gonna bring you back into the chat. I accidentally bounced you out because I was gonna bring you back on live air and just mess with you.
Because we were both wondering, like, what did you? We were talking about Morbius box office.
I had to left, but I mute myself next time. Yeah.
And it's like Chappie's like sitting over there just snickering the whole time, and we're both like,
I just wanted to know what you were laughing at.
What the hell do you find so funny about this dude?
He's like the crack up in school, while everybody else is, getting all serious. So, all right, guys, you have a nice trip here. But yeah, it's that's all. Now we weren't too pissed at you. I was gonna bring you back in and just mess with you for a little bit, but I'd already cleared out the room, and then I was before I hit the button. So, don't worry about it, Chappie. I was just gonna mess around with you. Yeah, something was going on last night. I don't. He's out on screen, so I'm like, what is he watching? Is he actually watching Acme? Let's see. Here we go. That stabilizing effect that the monk is for everybody else.
Yeah. So who do you think might be like the kind of parallel character to the monk in Rebel Moon? I think it might be
I'm thinking Well, it might be Korra because doesn't this monk have a warrior's past?
Yeah.
Didn't he become a monk because of violence? So I'm thinking maybe her, but without seeing it, seeing the. No, I mean maybe I'll have a little bit better answer for you tomorrow.
Yeah. It was in the trailer.
But it looks like because she's like a pacifist. Yeah, she's like a pacifist type. So she may be the one that it becomes him or becomes his type of character. And who knows? There may not be a direct parallel, but I see enough. Like I said, the synopsis alone is just like damn.
Like I've always said, I feel like Anthony Hopkins' Jimmy is the character I'm kind of expecting to be, the big breakout. Kind of the one I'm, most curious about because he got a little bit of like a C-3PO, as a warrior sort of a makeover to him. So yeah, I think he could also fit that bill himself.
All right. A question for the chat is you guys getting good visual? Because mine is no longer moving in Twitch.
Yeah, mine's still good.
Okay, cool. Well, this is weird. Like I said, Vince usually handles all this for me. So yeah, because I'm watching it from HBO Max, and HBO Max is still running smooth, but the Twitch relay is probably the one that. But as long as everybody is good in there, we're good. He was. Okay. Well, you're wrong, but no, the way William was defending and saying. Mathematically, it wasn't, though. That's the thing. It depends on what you determine a flop to be. Something that loses money or something, or if you set expectations, like I don't think they had expectations of Mobius being like a $500 million movie or anything like that, So a flop is The Flash. A flop is Shazam, Fury of the Gods. That's a flop.
A flop is about to be the Marvels, unfortunately. And those are all movies that like Flash did,
Which I heard from, like I said,
would have done much better.
Yeah.
Was it you said you heard what?
But Marvel's problem is a lot more fixable. Well, no, everybody that I know that saw it didn't thought it was pretty decent. Not the greatest movie, and it was kind of all over the place. But I don't hear anybody with like saying when you hear flop, you're like, ooh, wow. But then again, like I said, the Flash wasn't. People were trying to tell me the Flash was the worst thing since the Second Coming of Howard the Duck, and I'm like, I watched both these movies, and the Flash wasn't. If you take the circumstances away from the Flash, it's not the same thing. See, and that's what people don't realize. You're judging a Flash in large part on its circumstances because the CGI excuse was bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Because, like I said, we just pulled up a list of movies that had far worse CGI issues, and nobody gave a rat's ass. So,
well, like as you were saying with the Marvels, that was what you're talking about when you said like a lot of.
But nah,
you were saying with the Marvels, like a lot of people, like a lot of the reaction you've heard, you said people thought it was even they in love with it season. Yeah, Ruth was kind of saying that in the chat and being apologetic about it. Listen, don't be apologetic. I mean, I thought it was okay, but that's one thing I like about Ruth is that. From seeing her on in the chat and on Twitter is that she and Rhea are both just very cheerful, upbeat people, and that's good because it's like I can't stand all the.
And Rhea's cheerful in person.
Yeah. It's like the negativity of just the internet. Just you got to have a counterbalance to that, and they both definitely provide that on here. Oh, here we go.
What I don't want to know what you thought I said. I don't want to know, Joga. Here we go. I only thought the last of your skin you must be content with.
Yeah, exactly, Daniel.
So this is the recruitment. This is the this is the whole Nick Fury aspect of it. And to be honest with you, I just thought of that. When you look at Nick Fury basically does the same thing that Monk is. Except he does the same motherfucker.
Fighting for farmers.
Yeah, a good movie in a bad situation, and the actual original Captain Marvel is the exact opposite situation of a mediocre movie in a great situation. It's like that's why when people tell me, well, if James Gunn just makes a great movie, yeah, that's not going to be enough. The situation is so downtrodden that he has to make a good movie. and he has to bridge that gap in between where we're sitting now. And hey, good news, he's got 20 months to do it. But to me, I start right now. I don't wait. I start right now. Before I even put film to anything, I'm getting you primed and ready. I'm getting you to buy in, and by the time the movie comes around, you're ready to eat out of my hand. That's what I think should be happening right now.
Apparently, that might be.
But
what he's
you know
doing.
what? Let him.
Tweet he put out earlier. It seems like that's kind of what he's doing with that tweet he put out earlier.
Yeah, and I want to see, like I said, now we're gonna. Yeah, we need to see the premise of it. I need to see the premise, and maybe I don't care about the costume design because it's. I already know most Superman costume designs I don't like. I've only liked one Superman costume design in my life, and that's been the one that Henry Cavill wore. If I see the Trunks again, I'm just gonna pretty much have to shut my brain off because I don't ever want to see Trunks again on a superhero.
Yeah,
but I know that a lot of people think that's tradition, but yeah, it's not the 1930s. It's not the strong man. We don't need the strong man, and that's what it was. It signified strength when you wore those crazy outfits because that's what they wore in the circus and the fairs and stuff. So, but I don't need that now. It's 2023, 2024. All right, let's look at this one. These outfits are. It's a shame I don't have a color version of this because they are actually wearing a lot of color.
I was just thinking that, William, like how they're how the costume design is. Yeah.
I can actually also tell you if you want me to. I can list off a lot of the samurai weapons that they're carrying around here. I mean, obviously the most obvious one, they all have katanas, but I mean, one of them earlier was carrying, it's called a yari, with, spear, and I think I saw one guy with a naginata. So there's all kinds of like very accurate samurai weaponry being pulled around here.
That guy looks like it's like a woman. Oh.
Mm.
Cinematography is pretty good too for it to be 1954?
54, yeah. And the budget.
And the quality of the film. Yeah.
The budget.
The quality of the film
is 210 million yen, which is equivalent to $580,000. That's back in the 50s, but back then for anything, I mean, if you were making anything for $10 million, I mean, you were breaking the bank back then.
Yeah, that's actually a blockbuster budget back then.
Yeah, for the 50s. Yeah.
There's a lot of this too. I think if they could have, and I know it's blasphemy, but if they could cut out a lot of the pacing, this would be like a 2-hour movie.
Well, I mean, that's
because him just marching around till he makes his decision. I mean, come on.
That's kind of
like I'm in, man.
That's kind of
like Aquaman. I'm in.
No, that's the Flash.
Yeah, the Flash is like, immediately.
Yeah, stop right there, I'm in. But yeah, apparently that's kind of what Zach is doing.
You don't even know where they're going.
It initially has the shorter version of Rebel Moon, and then he has his longer director's cut. It's going to drop later for each of them. So.
How much later though? That's the real question.
They've said like the statement was by the end of 2024, both of the extended cuts of Child of Fire and Scargiver are supposed to be out. So,
that's on the hook. We're gonna be on the hook for like a year.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought too. Where they said it's like, oh yeah, you're stringing us along here. You got that much.
He knows what he's doing, huh?
Yeah.
I was hoping that those would come out automatically on Netflix as an option.
Yeah,
that's the ones I want. That's the ones I want to stream here. But you know what? I can take what I'm getting. I'm okay with it. I'm just gonna be, it's not going to change the story. It's just probably going to change some of the dynamics of the actual visual effects because, like I said, I want the brutal version of this movie. But and that's another reason why I didn't think it was going to get any type of release in theaters or why release in theaters because you're basically getting a truncated version, which is okay. Do I want to pay to see that? I want to see that. I want to see that.
You want to see the Snyder cut?
See blood and guts. I don't want you to
on
that, but like I said,
on the
pretty much. I want to see Zack Snyder unleashed.
Since we're on the Zach conversation, we're watching. Since we're on the Zach conversation, we're watching this, and this guy was just hugging the rice pot. He was just talking about rubbing the ice pot or hugging the rice pot, and it was in the foreground while it was being emphasized. And that's been done a couple of times. But I would say when you're watching BVS and you're watching Justice League, there's there's a scene in both of those movies where Batman loses his grapnel gun. There's one where he's fighting in Justice League. He's fighting parademons in the background, but the focus is on the grapnel gun. And the other one is in BVS when Doomsday is about to destroy the buildings and he has to get the grapnel gun. Both of those scenes, Batman is actually faded out in the background, and the emphasis is on the item. They don't obviously talk about the grapnel gun like this, like they're emphasizing with words and shots in this movie. But it's just interesting to see that Zach. I mean, it seems to be a similar technique, so it's interesting to.
Yeah, which I know what you're talking about, like in JL particularly, where it's kind of teetering on the edge of that catwalk, and he manages to get it just in time.
Yeah.
So, Daniel Martin, he's still making a safe release of Snyder Cut in 2024.
In 2028, 2029. I mean, or like I said, I'm gonna start my own movement where it's just resolve this. I want to see how everybody else has their hashtag. I'm gonna start a hashtag resolve the Snyderverse.
Oh yeah,
I'm ready to move on with you, but help me help you. Yeah. Then I'll get shit on. You need to move on. Oh, and by the way, guys, I need banned words list. Delusional and cope. The last year,
reboot,
people
right?
I've heard use that, I'm like, do you even know what you're talking about? Reboot started the list, but why you don't even know the context of using the words. Like, what am I coping? We're not talking about somebody dying. I didn't get a movie I wanted. That's not what am I coping with. What are you talking about? And how am I delusional when most of the people who are speaking out about this stuff are speaking out against something don't even know what they're talking about? They heard it from their other YouTuber. That's what the last 2, 3 to 5 years has been, is somebody saying something stupid that had a platform, and then there are people listening to them saying, woo, that sounds articulate. Let me go bounce this stupidness off of everyone else to make them think that I was somewhere where there were intelligent people having a conversation when they really weren't. Stop using these words. If you don't know the word, if you're not willing to go to a dictionary or thesaurus or something to see what the word is in the context, stop using these words. That's like me. I heard a board out of spelling bee. I don't know what the fuck it means, but here I am saying, hey, look at supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. See, look, I can say a word now. And they get these trendy words and they think they're smart and they're not. It's like, dude, it doesn't take much brain cells to repeat something another YouTuber said. But back to Seven Samurai.
Yeah. Captain America chopping wood.
Yeah, so if I were to start, yeah.
Actually, that'd be Alfred chopping wood, right? And BB and
yes, Alfred chopping wood.
BBS, huh?
And if you look at the parallels, they're always happening upon someone that's doing some type of task. And that tells you a lot about the character that you're about to bring into the story. That's almost like an introduction, and it's been used over and over again. And this movie is a prime example of how you can reuse a lot of stuff, and it's still entertaining depending on how you use it. You can recycle some stuff, and it's always going to be good.
Oh, the Fistful trilogy by the one that Eastwood's in. There are 3 movies. It's step for step from 3. I don't know if they're Kurosawa movies per se, but there's 3 samurai movies that are exactly they're separate movies. That's why the Fistful doesn't really connect, but they drew from 3 movies exactly, like step for step. And I'm pretty sure Magnificent Seven's probably like that too. And there's a lot of stuff like that. I mean, just in that 10-year span between these movies coming out and then the Western equivalents coming out, right?
Yeah, I mean, like Magnificent Seven. Yeah, that's the. I mean, again, it really directly transplants the Seven Samurai template into a Western setting.
Oh, it definitely does, and it blatantly does, and it doesn't. It's actually a great movie. I think it's one of the best Westerns ever done. And then when you think about the whole spaghetti Western thing in general, it's usually about the loner guy who's done something in his life to where he just rather be alone. Something comes up. Now he has to get these oddball people together. So he actually, like I said, he revolutionized the whole game. But once you see a movie like this, you look at these other movies and the movies that you've grown up with, you're like, wow, you start to see the parallels. So
here we go.
This is going to be the first time that yep.
You know, also this kind of reminds me of too. This is the Tom Cruise, the no mind scene in The Last Samurai. That's one of my favorite parts of that.
It's a horribly underrated movie, by the way.
Oh yeah, I love Last Samurai. Yeah.
It's actually one of his better films.
Yeah. In fact, actually, you kind of wonder, like, all the stunts and stuff he does. When's he gonna go?
And once again, here's our stabilizing factor.
Yeah, I can give a little bit of analysis here, which you kind of pay attention to the way these guys, their stance and how they're gripping the sword. Like this is exactly, this is how you do when in kenjutsu, as it's called, when you're handling a Japanese a katana, it's called kendo or kenjutsu. In the stance, this is the stance work, and
you should have stayed away, old man.
Oh, here's another good one.
I thought
of as a parallel to this, the Predator katana fight scene in Predators, because you watch a lot of samurai movies. The fight scenes tend to be they're not like Hong Kong movies. The fight scenes tend to be very a lot more planted, and there's a lot more kind of more of a meditative aspect to it before they launch in and break each other.
It's a waste of your life.
Yeah. Just the way they both got each other at the same time there. It's like that's right out of No Mind and Us. Yeah. Now they got the real swords out.
Yeah, we're not playing around now. Look at the reaction of the audience. The reaction of the audience is like, "Ooh, okay, that's a real fight."
Somebody's about to lose an arm here. Oh no!
When we last met,
we're gonna do a little more tasteful. This ain't the Snyder cut, Brad.
Oh God!
Nobody's losing an arm.
Oh come on!
I should have overlaid this with Darth Vader's voice. Now,
when I left you, I was but a learner. Now I am the master.
There's no contest.
How do you get that accent from James Earl Jones, Brad?
I don't know what Brad was doing.
I'm not the best impressionist, so
I'm just giving you a hard time, man.
Don't ask me to do Obi-Wan. That's gonna not sound that great.
That should have been your Obi-Wan, if anything, right there. That was it.
If you strike me down, dog, I'm
that move was smooth.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Slow-mo there with the dust kicking up. Yeah.
Not a lot of blood in this movie.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah, the violence is is a lot more implied.
You guys want a crazy 88 version of this Seven Samurai, huh?
Yeah, that would be cool.
No, that's a little bit much. I love Kill Bill, but man, that's a fucked up movie, dude. It's like
like fire hydrants of blood coming out.
Come on, that's a good scene, man.
Yeah.
Or when they cut her arms and legs off and she's still living.
That's good. That's good stuff, right?
Just toss her in the trunk. I have a mission for you. That's when I knew I was turning the corner from relatable to bullshit, but I was still gonna have fun with it because that movie's crazy, man. That movie has when she jumps up on that table and what's her face, Lucy Liu, her character, that guy insults her and she jumps up on that table and runs across that sword.
Well, it doesn't even show her jumping up.
It's Charlie Brown right before the fight starts.
It doesn't even show her jumping up. It's just like he insults her for being, half Chinese, and then you immediately see her feet.
You see her feet running across the thing,
and then he just grabs the sword, just off of his head, and then again the geyser of blood that just spurts out of that.
Yeah, and it was way too much blood. By the way, it was more blood than what was in that guy's body. But like I said, I could never get over Sophie. Sophie's arms and legs being cut off, her living with no medical treatment, long enough to get to go ahead and get the message to Bill. Come on, man. The 5-finger death punch too was bullshit, but And Brad, if you say that that's real, I'm
No,
banning
it's
you
not.
right now.
Yeah,
If you tell me that the 5-finger death punch is real, okay, I'm about to say add the button.
Well,
But she
it-
didn't
well,
use the 5 fingers. You know that, right?
It's called the 5-point palm exploding heart.
Yeah, the
technique.
5-point palm, but she only did 4.
Yeah. Well,
Did you ever? That's
She still killed him.
Did she though? Or did she just leave him?
Yeah, she killed him.
Well, he's dead
Yeah.
in real life, so he ain't coming back. But
Well, that's because of a sex accident.
yeah, he did himself in for sure.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, she only hit him 4 times in the end of the movie. So did she really make his heart explode, or did she just knock him out
maybe she
and have mercy on him?
Yeah, it might have been. I mean,
Well, he died.
He took 5 steps and then he falls over. So
Hey,
maybe
how long?
Maybe he just had an aneurysm. Yeah, it started. It started like an hour.
Or once he started
No,
moving,
he's
the
trolling
blood
you
circulation.
guys. He's trolling
Oh,
you.
come on.
It's 4th, dude. Why do you?
Oh yeah.
He's fucking with you.
I should have known.
I didn't even.
Yes, Michael J. White. I'm sure Spider-Man. Yeah, he has. That's actually that's probably one of the best deleted scenes of all time. Is the Michael J. White and David Carradine fight scene from Kill Bill.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Oh, you haven't seen that?
I didn't know Michael J. White was cut out of Kill Bill.
Yeah. Well, he's in the trailer, kind of twirling a sword around, and then and there's on the.
I'll be honest with you, man. I try to avoid trailers because I hate movies being spoiled, and I've been like that for a long time. So I don't watch every trailer that comes out usually.
But
on the if
DVD,
the trailers are done wrong, then yeah, that happened.
But I don't. Am I gonna flip? Am I gonna roll the dice and figure out who did it right or who did it wrong, or do I just wait? Usually, I just wait.
Well, but anyway, on the Kill Bill
I don't know,
2, and you probably find
so I
out
need a
YouTube,
trailer to get excited. I need a trailer to get excited.
on the DVD. It includes there's a fight scene between Carradine and Michael J. White, and it's pretty awesome because he's like this old enemy of his.
Well, now I'm gonna have to go seek that out because I'm a big Michael J. White
yeah.
fan. Speaking of which,
Yes,
Oh, here
No,
we go.
yes.
I know. It's like it'll happen. We just don't know when.
Jeez.
William, I'm trying to get your channel's views. That's what I'm really here for, man.
You know what we also
you're gonna have 30,000 subscribers when that happens, dude.
People are they're not coming to slum the sci-fi center. They're not coming. Like I said, unless I fly them out.
Imagine if he's a wrestling fan and he just loves talking to you about wrestling. It's over.
He'd really actually be. I bet he'd be pretty cool. Like Mike, he probably would do well if you gave him like because I've seen him in things where he never bat down, where he's had a shaved head and beard and all that. So I could probably embody like a monk kind of character in the Rebel Moon universe really well.
Ruth has the suit that she wore in Kill Bill, so that means you have the Game of Death suit. Is what you have, huh?
Yeah. But yeah, they sold those. I remember when the movie came out.
I remember the Halloween that year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
People were wearing them. Everybody in Vegas was with her for Halloween. The bride.
Was the bride?
Or what's her face? Daryl Hannah's character with
Kiddo.
the eye patch. Cause
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Elle Mc. What's her name? Elle
McPherson or
is it McPherson? Is it her name McPherson in that movie? It's Elle something. It's Elle Driver.
No, Elle.
The character.
Yeah. Yeah, Daryl Hannah. Daryl Hannah's really tall. I didn't realize how tall Daryl Hannah was in that movie.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee. That's hilarious.
Yeah, and speaking with that suit, speaking of, because Game of Death, that's the one that Bruce Lee, he died before he was able to finish it.
Finish the movie. Yeah.
So they basically, the version that they completed was basically like almost like his Justice League, because there's doubles. There's
superimposed shots of him looking in mirrs and
where he's got the cardboard cut out, the doubles behind.
Yeah.
But the closest you can really, I would recommend, because this is the closest really to seeing what he intended. It's called Bruce Lee: A Warrior's Journey. It's a documentary, but it includes all the footage he was able to complete. So you see it more comprehensively. It's a lot longer. It's about like 43 minutes, and Game of Death only includes like 11 of it. So I definitely would recommend that over the the main Game of Death that they finished.
The parallels. The parallels to his son both died before finishing movies that they were on. This is
yeah.
Such a tragedy. Is there a male heir in that family at all? Did Linda?
His daughter.
Did his daughter have voice?
Yeah. I think Shannon. I believe she has a daughter.
Go ahead.
Actually, I've actually interviewed Shannon twice. Full disclosure. Yeah, she has a daughter. I don't know. I know Bruce had a brother. I believe he's still around. But yeah, as far as like any progeny, I think it's just Shannon just has at least one daughter, but there are any male members on that side of the family left.
So like the first male, you're gonna have to put some kind of magical spell on him, man. It's just a protection.
I'm telling everybody, it's like Brandon Lee. If he had lived, because he was such good buddies with Chad Stahelski, he would have been in the John Wick franchise. I'm telling you that right now.
He would have been a lot more than just the John Wick franchise.
Yeah.
He was one movie away. It wasn't The Crow, because The Crow was gonna bomb. Sorry, guys.
What was the other movie he was making at
Crow
that
was
time?
going to bomb, and it would have been a cult classic later on in life. Yeah, but I don't know. I can never get past The Crow when it comes to Brandon Lee.
He was also like apparently he was the original. He was going to be the original choice for Johnny Cage in the original Mortal Kombat. It's like, and I could totally see him like dropping lines like, "This is where you fall down," or "Those are $500 sunglasses, asshole." Because he's you watch Bruce, he's a lot more stoic, in his screen presence. And Brandon Lee, he's a lot more jovial. So he could embody kind of more loosey goosey kind of characters like Johnny Cage.
What was the movie they were fighting on the train track with the hooks, Brad?
Say again?
This is like the second to last movie he made. They were fighting at the end of the movie. They were fighting on the train track with the hooks.
Well, that was Rapid Fire.
Rapid Fire, that's what it was. Yes.
Yeah. That was an awesome one. I love Rapid Fire.
Yeah.
That was his biggest. That's
what I was saying. That was his big movie before he passed.
Yeah, prior to The Crow. Yeah, as far as like what they came out before.
It hurts, and I said this when we did the.
You said you would rather
did The Crow as part of our story and movie and soundtrack. It's just it hurts sometimes to watch that movie. Yeah, because that was the cost of that movie. It was like Heath Ledger. I mean, Heath Ledger drove himself. He had some issues. And, couldn't sleep and did all that and over medicated himself. But what I got out of it was probably one of the top 5 villain performances of all time. But you know what? He never got to see that. He never got to get that award. A young man.
Fourth wants a time. Fourth wants a timestamp. I'm kind of messed up here because I have the backwards. I have the countdown, so I have like on my timestamp I have -226:43 fourth, but I don't know what that puts the normal timestamp. So
you can skip to we're right at the part where it's like he's unrolling a map and they're kind of putting together their strategy.
Do you have a timestamp?
Why doesn't he just use a Twitch link?
Yeah, I don't. Okay. I got the whole -227.
Twitch link should be live.
So. Yeah, it's live, but it doesn't but it doesn't have a time like how far it is in the movie. It's showing how far is left.
And you had to start it over 3 times when you started it, weren't you?
Yeah, so we're at -226:56. So if you go to the end and just roll it back, that's what you could do. That's not a spoiler alerts or anything.
The random mat scene. You're welcome for it. So I was trying to help you, man.
No, you'll recognize because there's a dispute about the battle strategy unfolding here.
It's about -225, 2 hours and 25 minutes. Fourth, if you're on HBO Max, that's the best way I can do it because that's how format it.
Okay, and I went ahead and put the Twitch link in there. I'll be right back, guys. I got somebody that came in. I'll be right back.
Yes, I do love the Johnny Cage lines, and yes, I love the $500 sunglasses line. While we're waiting on William, I'm going to go ahead and read off a little bit more of the cultural impact section on, on the Seven Samurai Wikipedia page. Seven Samurai is largely touted, and this is from Cultural Impact on Wikipedia. Seven Samurai is largely touted as what made the assembling the team trope popular in movies and other media. This has since become a trope in many action movies as heist films. Seven Samurai spawned its own subgenre of men on a mission films, also known as the Seven Samurai formula, where a team of disparate characters are grouped to undertake a specific mission. The formula has been widely adopted in many films and other media. Among dozens, along with remakes, are listed above. Other examples of the Seven Samurai formula can be seen in films such as Saving Private Ryan, The Dirty Dozen, Star Wars, The Savage Seven, 13th Warrior, The Expendables, The Avengers, as well as television series such as A-Team and The Walking Dead. I'm trying to think like what else did they not list there that I think could kind of fall into that. As Zach has recently been, in some interviews spoken of, over his filmography. I mean, he's kind of applied the assembling a team formula to most of the things he's done. I mean, offhand, he said it's like, I just kind of subconsciously drifted that. And offhand, I mean, I think that's very accurate. Like the only one I can think of in his filmography that really is more centered on like one primary antagonist that's not putting a team together really is Man of Steel. So you can really, if you look through.
What are you talking about, Brad? Martian Manhunter was in the background getting everybody together in Man of Steel. You just didn't know at the time.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love also going back now ever since
that Revelation was made.
Yeah. I mean, even before his Justice League came out, like I always loved like going back to any scene with a Swanwick saying, okay, what it's like, where are the hints now about the truth? I mean, the interrogation scene. This is why I say it's like I think he's kind of pulling our leg when he says, "Oh, he just based off a fan theory plugged in there," because that interrogation scene, there's a lot of stuff that lines up with like, okay, like
but he doesn't. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He doesn't walk away from the mirror when approaches, or you have the one showing both of them, and then the shot that cuts back where it's got Superman's reflection, so it's like, oh, he's looking at another alien. And then the Swanwick, like a lot of those early scenes with him, he has kind of the Matrix green tint on his face, the way he's framed. So I feel like I think he might be playing a close test there.
Maybe, but he also said that was a choice that he saw Harry Lennox make, and he really kind of engaged that piece of acting once they got to BVS. And as I understand, Goyer wrote. Man of Steel with something in mind, and when they got to BVS, they took that steam and they just ran with it, and they built around that. But
when
they say that, but then I'm talking about the way Zach explains it. But also when they say that, they show they always say stuff like that, but in the first 30 seconds of the movie, you see the world, you see the Doomsday moon that got blown up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, but you're talking about like the way Lennox sort of plays on. You're talking about when the fact that he just stands there.
Yeah, and the way that I've heard Zach describe that, and I could be mistaken. He says that was a choice that they left in the movie that Harry Lennox, the actor, took, and he really thought that was a powerful choice. But at the same time, when they get to a certain point writing BVS, they draw from that and they say, okay, well we have the framework here to eat.
Yeah,
exactly, to make him the Martian Manhunter. Yeah,
that makes sense. Well, I mean, Goyer, he's made comments that indicate he's not the biggest fan of the character, so there is also that. But yeah,
well, he's entitled to his own opinion. But I think what they did with the transition from Man of Steel to BVS is perfect. So he can say what he wants to say, but it comes out looking really good. You know what I'm saying? So
I feel like it's like that's another thing I'd love to. I mean, we were talking last night. It's like I would definitely love to ask Zach about the intended resolution of the Codex, and I'm sure he would answer that similar.
What I was
a Joker question, but also it's like I would ask him. But also,
what I was saying.
Go ahead.
What I was saying about your comments about the Codex, if you substitute the actual Codex,
I saw that last night.
Where you birthing matrix, then I think that really fills your thing, because like I said, I see the Codex as Krypton, but there's also a show called Gundam Seed where there's people that are they're called coordinators. They're all genetically perfect people, and there's people that are called naturals. You see what I'm saying? And Superman, and if that's the analog, everybody on Krypton is a coordinator, and Kal-El is a natural. And within what makes him unique among all others is, of course, he has the free will, but the Codex is inside of him. So you take that original point that Zod was saying that we can rebuild Krypton. That's why I say that's the stand-in for Kandor, because Superman always has Kandor inside of him. Whatever happens in the end of the story, but that Codex is always in Superman's blood, right? But he's already made the choice and said Krypton had its chance. But if we look at the birthing matrix and you take your points that you were making yesterday, I think that's the bigger connection. I would substitute that.
She's calling herself Ruthie now.
Ruth is calling herself. Yeah. Okay, well,
All right,
we'll see you later, Ruth. If you're up, when we,
I would.
Please drop in. We just love having you around.
Fourth, I don't think he was trying to like fight or challenge Superman. I think he was trying to even if we're not considering Martian Manhunter or even a second movie, it's just the fact that the actor is not showing intimidation because he's a leader, right? So he's showing all the people around him, Emil Hamilton and all those people.
Well, Lennox also, he's got such a background in terms of like playing like tough military types anyway. I mean, like from the Matrix and
Matrix,
that's so he that's kind of his his bread and butter anyway as far as his on-screen persona. But yeah, even if it was just a happy accident that all that just lined up to set him up as Martian Manhunter, it's the craziest happy accident that's ever happened in any kind of franchise.
But you got to appreciate the fact that Zach is
I think Martian Manhunter would have eventually come up, but it just didn't. Yeah, I think Martian Manhunter would eventually happen. I just don't think it would have been shoehorned as it was because of not being able to use Green Lantern, which was just oh well.
Well, he was still going to be in there anyway because the lowest scene. Okay, so now we got to.
But that insane.
God.
It not
this
being
village.
Green Lantern. And like I said, you know what?
Oh, go ahead, because I can definitely go on that Green Lantern rant myself. But I was about to say that this village. I mean, it looks. I mean,
what were you about to say about the village?
The one in the trailer looks exactly like this. I mean, the mountainous setting, the way all the.
Oh yeah. And this cinema
it's got like a dream
for it to be in the 50s. Like I said, I say it over and over again. It's just like wow, the vision that this guy had. Yeah. That's why if I got the one question, like I say, Film Junkie has that question waiting in the queue for next time Zach goes on his show is, what are your influences from Akira Kurosawa? Because I don't think anybody's ever asked him that outright. But I want to hear him actually say it in detail. I know he's referenced it, but I want to how in which ways did you really cling on? Is it the same ways that I see in these movies, or did you have a different, were you coming from a different place as a director?
Also like looking at like the production value and the scale they have. Like you said, like the budget for the time was like blockbuster level budget for the 50s. It's also important to remember that this movie is coming about 9 years after Japan has been nuked twice, and they've lost. So it's like they're dealing with a lot of culture shock and economic ramifications of that. And
Godzilla came out the same year.
Yeah.
54.
Gojira.
Yeah.
And that Godzilla that's in that movie, that's the most hateful looking Godzilla I've ever seen. That Godzilla, because even the Toho movies just never get the sinisterness of it until obviously he has to fight and protect humankind in certain movies. This movie here, he does not give any fucks. He's stepping on people in the trailer. His tail's just says, fuck you.
I think we're about to see. I think we're about to see a lot of that in Godzilla -1 because with what we saw in those comic breath clips. But William, you were also kind of saying a minute ago about Green Lantern, as far as the intended Green Lantern.
I just hope some way we do get to the point where we can just, like I said, finish that story, and just put it in part of the whole collection, because I don't look at Gunn's universe as being so separate from what's gone on before, and I don't think if you do it that way, you take away, like I said, the same thing I think doing Crisis did. You take away the biggest advantage, the diversity that DC has amongst across the decades, and I would hate to see them not use other versions, especially that version, because that version there's still money to be made. Even if that's not the direction you want to go, I can respect that. But make all the money you can, wring all that money out. You have it there, make all the money you can, and then after you wring that rag out, throw it towards your thing. Because guess what? After I'm done with that, especially if I'm a new fan, I'm ready for your thing. You see how the mind opens up when you finish things? It's a miracle. It's magic, man.
Well, I mean that Green Lantern image, with Wayne T. Carr that has been released. I mean that that looks so amazing. And I really love the fact that both with him and Yalin Gur, that is in the history lesson. I love the touch they have of having the hologram lantern emblem on their chest. So you've got like the one that's actually on their chest, the one like hovering above it like a hologram.
I wish they would have done that in 2011.
Yeah, there's a lot of things we wish they would have done in 2011.
But you know what? If I would have been doing, like I said, I think you're going to see a Wayne T. Carr as Green Lantern in the same way you see Nick Cage in the Chrono Bowl at some point. But I think you will. I don't know how old I'll be when it happens. I don't know if I'll still be around, but I think you will eventually get an ending to that story. Once you redo Warner Brothers with people that are not hateful pieces of shit, and I don't think Zaslav's a hateful piece of shit, and I don't think James Gunn is. I don't think that once you take away the spite from the situation, I think anything is possible, even amongst what James Gunn doing, and what Zaslav is doing. I mean, once you make the argument that there's money to be made, then I don't think those guys will do it. Now, if it was like Hamada, Emmerich like that, they wouldn't do it even if there was data to tell them to do it because they were being spiteful, and that's why I can't stand them
to do it. Yeah. Here's a couple I want to pull up here. Daniel
oh wow! You know what? First of all, Draga, screw you, motherfucker.
Is which he's referring
yeah,
to?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
I hope to not.
Yeah. I hope to not be William's age when we see the resolution of the GL arc, but
oh well, you know what? Fuck you too, buddy. What the hell? When did I become a museum piece?
But anyway,
screw all you mofos.
Fossil William.
Okay.
Hey, look how many people ain't making it to my age.
Hey.
Remember when everyone thought Green? I never thought that. I was assuming that was Superman when we saw him in that trailer. We said you come now. Hope it's not too late. Yeah, I was always going by the idea that was Superman the whole time.
Yeah, I know there was a lot of information out there, but we didn't have a lot of information at that time. So the Superman thing was as good a guess as any.
And I guarantee you,
yeah,
he's talking about like the Codex and of the Martian Heralds. He'll say it's like, well, it's kind of like it's really about him dealing with the schools. Yeah, exactly. That's would you ask him anything that would
he's that trolling you again.
No, I agree. No, I agree. I agree.
I did not see that shit.
I have said if I asked him my Codex question, he would answer it like he did at Full Circle with the Robin and Joker question, where he would say, I'll give you a little bit, but I don't want to spoil anything, so we should wait and see.
We're sort of troll proof on here, guys, because all we're doing is legitimately trying to answer questions. So we're assuming everything you give us is that we're going to answer.
That's prime fuel for trolls right there. That's the opposite of troll proof.
Yeah, because when you're trolling somebody, you're trying to get under their skin. You're not going to really get under their skin.
So the old dude here,
it's like we're looking at everything like, hey, he's asking legit questions.
All I'm going to say is Fourth is hilarious. So I know you're troll proof, but he is always jokes in the comments, man. You can always get a good laugh out of what Forrest talking.
Yeah, he never has. Yeah, he knows that he's a master of the teasing 101. Yeah, this old dude here, or the just before the scene wipe there. It's like, I wonder if we're gonna get a guy like that in Rebel Moon, as far as like a village elder, type of character, in Korra's village. I could see that.
Maybe that's Anthony Hopkins' character, or what?
But he's also the fact that he's a cyborg. I feel like he
wouldn't have to be.
But maybe he could. Maybe he could be. Yeah, maybe he could be. I don't know. That is an interesting.
We'll see.
Question.
We don't know. We'll see. That's the good thing. It's still new.
Well, yeah. We're probably. I wonder what kind of answers we're gonna get tomorrow with the trailer. Really, it's like the big one is like what compels him to put on those antlers.
I told you. Next week when I go to Comic-Con,
you get poked in the eye a whole bunch of times. You're gonna have to wear sunglasses to for protection.
Look at my cosplay. Oh shit, dude! And some jackass is gonna get real fucking antlers to do it, and he's gonna cut people up. And sorry, excuse me. And like I said, if you've ever been to Comic-Con, you're like 2 inches away from everybody.
Well,
by the way, like I said, I could have sold deodorant. I could have sold deodorant at Comic-Con, and I would have probably made like $1 billion right there.
Well,
I would-
and here's the thing with
I would
Jimmy.
be able
with
to
the
fly
antlers.
back on something that wasn't JetBlue.
I could see this happening with Jimmy cosplays too, where it's not just like you have to like avoid getting your eyes skewered out by his antlers, but you'd have like somebody people standing like side next to him behind a Jimmy cosplay or a Comic-Con, and then he just turns around, turns his head, just smacks somebody with his antlers.
Or what if there's more than one Jimmy there? Now we're gonna have them locking
Yeah.
horns. It's like,
Yeah.
fighting over territory.
Well, yeah. I mean, we got the map for that here now. Which again, it's like the village in the trailer. It's like it looks like just like directly lifted from this. Just they got spaceships landing in it now.
Yeah, I wonder what the color scheme
Shots
would
are
look
nice,
like back
though.
then.
Yeah. Did he actually did? Because I think I remember reading like Zach filmed Rebel Moon. He did a lot of it in California, kind of in the places where Lucas did all the Tatooine stuff for A New Hope, but again, also where the village is in the trailer, it's like it looks a lot like this. So it's like, I mean, was that a set? Did he go to Japan and maybe like try to bring that close to home?
Doesn't he always talk about how him and his wife they're like master farmers now because of making Smallville, so they can just grow a farm full of wheat or something like that. They talk about that every once in a while.
Yeah, that's true. Wilson, we're gonna have to make a hell of a lot of rope here.
These shots are nice though.
I'm gonna check out some more of the chat here. Which again, yeah, it's like Droga. Come on, now you're really jumping into like fourth troll territory. Yeah, I mean, and I think that's also. I mean, it's obvious that would be addressed in, the JL 2 and 3 plans, and plus also, I mean, he kind of addresses that too in his cameo.
How many origin stories has that already happened where Martian Manhunter was scared to do anything until Superman
exactly. Yeah, it's like that's not.
It's not the first time that's happened, but
yeah.
At the same time, I see what he's saying.
Yeah, but like, and plus also, I mean, as far as like certain events, like I think like the Doomsday fight. I mean, also it's important to remember like Martians are vulnerable to fire, so it's like that kind of he's got to be careful like that too. But he has such canonically a history of kind of hiding in the shadows and then deciding, being inspired by the other heroes to come out and and use his abilities to fight alongside them. So yeah, that's not something that's unique to ZSJL.
In Darwin Cook's book, they had the government had him captured, or they made a movie of that as well. Frontier,
yeah,
like a cartoon. Yeah. He was captured by the government before the superheroes became the Justice League.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm just sure I've spotted it's because there's been like mist or clouds in the background. I'm sure I just spotted Mount Fuji in some of these shots. The cool thing about this map too is I've seen like DVD box sets of Kurosawa, just in general his work, or just Seven Samurai specifically, or it's like the font and the the box artwork is like done in in that style.
The style of the Japanese writing.
Well, not just Japanese, but also things like that map there and things like that.
I think I'm just like a few seconds ahead of you, so I get you.
Yeah. Actually, kind of wondering, like, because they came out in the same year, I'm wondering how much of like the production timeline between Seven Samurai and Godzilla overlaps at all. Like, were they? I mean, in fact, they're both Toho movies. Were they in the same neighborhood? Or they, like knocking on each other's door at all? They rubbing shoulders while they're both making them.
Yeah. Maybe some of the extras are in both movies.
Yeah, and that happens more than people realize as far as like productions being having a lot of proximity to each other.
Iron Man 3 and Luke Cage were going on at the same time, and the character that played Mariah Stokes was also the mom
Yeah,
that
yeah.
confronted Tony in front of.
Exactly.
I,
Yeah,
I
when he
said
was-
Iron Man 3. That was Captain America 3. Actually, I'm sorry, but they
Yeah,
were
Civil
out
War,
at the
yeah.
same time.
When he's on stage giving his TED talk about that new doohickey called BARF.
Yeah.
She never did before he died. He never did come up with a new acronym for it, like he had.
Luke Cage is such a good show for the character.
Yeah.
I say the character. Some of the stuff in it is kind of corny, but the action altogether is pretty good in the show. Like Mariah Stokes, Cottonmouth Stokes.
I liked, I liked Mike Coulter a lot as Luke Cage, and I actually felt because Iron Fist, of course, he didn't have the best start on Netflix, but I always say for Iron Fist, he's from Defenders on is really really great, and especially in Iron Fist season 2, but then also when he had his appearance in Luke Cage season 2. I really enjoyed that because it really, I feel like the two of them, they really captured, the whole Power Fist and Iron Power Man
Iron Fist. Yeah.
When they're fighting.
I love Luke Cage that he has this flashback and they literally did his Weapon 6 storyline, and they had one of the doctors that was at Weapon X for Wolverine. That doctor that sets him up on that's from Weapon X.
And they do a fastball special, him and Iron Fist. It's like it's usually Wolverine being thrown by Colossus, but this time it's Luke Cage throwing Iron Fist.
Yeah.
That's I guess that's to date our only fastball special in the MCU.
They did the hand dirty on Iron Fist though, because they were so on Daredevil and on Defenders, they're all super organized, and then like on Iron Fist, they're like janitors at a school.
Yeah, they're not as fleshed out on Iron Fist.
All their headquarters are just like backlot warehouses. they're everything went from like they were really good on Daredevil, like they're like the hand from the comics, and then
that's why Davos is such a better that's part of what
step up the Steel Serpent. He was
So I'm assuming this is the creek from that Blair Witch documentary where the kid gets dragged in 6 feet in the water or 6 inches in the water. Back here, good. We were keeping them pretty organized here, William, in your absence. One thing I did mention also too. Can you hear me, William?
What's up? Hold on.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, one thing I mentioned to Spider-Man while you were gone is that the fact that these are both Toho movies and they come out in the same year, I'm kind of curious, like how much overlap or how
they get married.
How close were Seven Samurai and Godzilla as far as production, and was there any overlap in terms of crew or in terms of extras and anything of that nature? Because that happens more probably than people would expect with things filming really close together, and especially if it's with the same studio.
You should be able to go to Wikipedia and pull up the production crew.
Yeah,
and you'd probably be able to see if there's some parallel people. I'm pretty sure there would have to be, because even though Toho was the big daddy of them all, it was still a relatively small production company in comparison to like an American company that wasn't coming out of the bad end of a war too. So. Now, see this right here. This shot. This doesn't look like it's coming from 1954 to me. This is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me.
Well, these days those flowers would be CG, so.
I got to put something on my big screen.
Oh, by the way, that's another Rebel Moon kind of callback, possibly where like Jimmy is. There's one part where he's got he's got one tucked in where his ear would be, I guess, or he's got the tiara of him, and then he's of course out in a little bit of a poppy field with fireflies. So I think this is also you get another shout out Rebel Moon. A lot of visual callbacks.
They're gonna fight with flowers.
Fourth, in the comics, Jessica Jones and Luke Cage get married.
Yeah.
Their daughter is a potential Captain America.
Who's butter chicken? What? And somebody's in the chatting in the StreamYard.
Oh God, fourth. This one comment here about Jessica Jones. You want me to pull it up?
They get married. He had the best chemistry is the future of his storyline, so it works.
Do you want me to pull it up?
Is fourth? Are you Butter Chicken? Are you the one in my StreamYard or in my chat?
Yeah, we got a Butter Chicken guy in there, Butter Chicken 52. But fourth has one here about Luke Cage and Jessica Jones that I'm not sure I should bring up.
Oh, jeez, no, don't bring that up.
Okay. And he says he's not Butter Chicken too, by the way.
Oh, hello, Butter Chicken. I mean, fourth, this is Twitch. Yeah. Yes, it is.
Maybe this is like maybe that. Yeah, maybe this is gonna be like where a lot of the parallels with Jimmy, as far as Seven Samurai, are gonna be felt like this seeing the flower field there. Okay. There we got these dudes coming in. That hell samurai wear though, so that's it's called the kabuto, I believe.
Oh, the helmet style.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I got that right. I'm usually pretty.
Even if you got it wrong, I wouldn't know.
I'm usually pretty historically adept on these kinds of things, but I can flub things out there. Yeah, it's called the kabuto. That's what the samurai helmet's called. Now his isn't quite the same there, because you usually got a little bit more flair to them and other elements. But yeah, it's traditionally called the kabuto, what the samurai helmet is. Remember, actually, anybody in the chat, are you familiar with the show Deadliest Warrior when it was when Spike TV was around? My friend Mike and I, we were just obsessed with that show when it was on. And Samurai, they were one of the warriors they tested out on there, and it was that was really cool. They had it was Samurai versus Vikings initially, and then they had a follow up with that where they fought Spartans, and then the Samurai beat the Viking, but the Spartan won against the Samurai when they tested out their weapons, put them into a simulation. But they had they had all kinds of ones. They had like a Spartan versus ninjas. They had Shaolin monks versus Maori warriors. They had what else they have?
I remember that show.
Yeah, they had Zondi, Zondi warriors from South Africa versus the Aztecs. They had one with William Wallace versus Shaka Zulu. Yeah, that show is like made for like guys like me. I freaking love that show so much.
Hey, off topic, Brad. Do you know of any app that merges Vero that when I post on all my other apps, I get it on Vero as well? Because I have to do a lot of separate stuff.
Yeah, I used to be. Yeah, you can link it up. You in theory you could link it up between your Twitter or your Facebook when you put. And I used to do that all the time with my Vero when I would post something. It would like relay it to Twitter. But ever since it got turned into X, it's like it keeps telling me it won't let me do that. So either that's some kind of blockade that's happened, or maybe it's like something I need to update. I'm not fully clear on that. But yeah.
Well, I know that's what Twitter. Nah, Twitter's being goofy. But what about Instagram or anything like that?
I would think it should let you do that when you scroll across and say, "Oh, I want to like link it up with. I want this post to also go here." I would think it also should do that with Instagram.
Try it out because I'm tired of. Threads is easy because it's on Instagram, but I'm having a problem with them.
Oh, fourth, another winner down there from fourth.
It's gonna get us kicked off the internet.
Sorry,
my goodness.
Yeah, I tried to mute myself, but I couldn't do that in time. Never watched Deadliest Warrior, but I have this. Yeah, I have the game too. I have the game and the second game at Deadliest Warrior Legends. Yeah, that show was so near and dear to my heart. I love that show to death. And they actually had for the William Wallace one, they had Anthony DeLongis on there. He's kind of a renowned swordsman and stunt coordinator, and I believe he was I believe he was like the sword fight coordinator for the Risk Highlander and also on the TV show. So maybe they'll bring it back for the reboot. I have been in a competition recently. But we had some good sparring last night. But yeah, if I head to one in the near future and we get any, record that, maybe I'll share some of that with you guys, because I knew that was gonna like spark so much interest once I shared my background like that, because people once you tell them they
they're gonna want to see you doing it now.
Yeah.
Let's see. It doesn't also post it. I can post between Facebook and Instagram, but yeah, I can't. That's the only reason why I don't post much on Vero and Threads, because I have to do 2 separate posts.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Maybe look up something and see if it's.
Yeah, here comes Obi-Wan. Not you, William. I'm talking about the dude with the cane.
I know what you're talking about.
William's not Obi-Wan. William's Kang, dude. You know this. Ever since last Saturday, when Kang took out the other William variant, it's been William Kang pile ever since, dude.
Yeah, that's what our end credits of the stream is going to be this time. It's going to be a whole Coliseum full of
the Council of Williams.
Here it is. Zapier. That's the app. All right, let's see if I can do this right.
He's in his Victor Timely mode right now. That's what he's doing. But
actually, also, I just thought of this too. Talking about the Seven Samurai comparison to Rebel Moon, and Zach, of course, he had in Army of the Dead. He had a Hiroyuki Sanada as of course, as Bly Tanaka. He was kind of the guy organizing the whole heist. But he's done a lot of work, in action movies. He's quite the martial artist. He was, of course, a Scorpion, he's in the new Mortal Kombat franchise, and he was in the Last Samurai, and what else has done? Probably like the Wolverine in the. So he's done a lot of action heavy stuff too. And I think he could probably, if Zach could probably bring him into the Rebel Moon franchise and really kind of exploit a lot of.
You don't know yet.
It's fully possible. I remember reading a rumor actually not too long ago on Twitter that Zach has plans, like he and Henry Cavill have behind the scenes made plans for Henry to enter the Rebel Moon franchise. So we'll see how much that carries out. I definitely would very much love that. I love that he brought I love that he brought he's already got Ray Fisher and Ray Porter in Rebel Moon, but I would love it if he brought his entire JL cast in different roles throughout the Rebel Moon universe.
Maybe you'll see Gal, Henry, and Ben.
Yeah,
somewhere maybe as cameos or something.
Yeah, and we have a hint of I guess who his Green Arrow would be with Charlie Hunnam.
Yeah.
Oh, Droga! You brought up the whole Yoda thing. It's I just pinged back to that briefly.
Yeah, Yoda's 900 years old, so I guess
Yoda can kick ass. We all love Yoda.
Yeah, Yoda was kicking ass late in life. So
he can levitate an X-wing out of a swamp with his mind. Come on.
Do or do not. There is no try. Shit.
I can see that flag there. I've definitely seen like box sets of Seven Samurai like with that flag as the as the box.
Oh yeah, that's their symbol. Yep. See, I wish I knew everything that I needed to know. Nicotina said he's gonna do a character breakdown. I wonder where he's getting that information.
I think he shared that. He shared that a little while ago, so he's already.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to take a look at that before tonight.
William, Forrest got a question for you.
I don't care.
Up here.
No,
It's not. He's not bullshitting. He's actually asking you a real question, man.
what is it? This one?
Yeah. Because you've brought this up a few times and you've hinted at it. So, for you, what's the?
So, what do you guys? What is the quintessential idiosyncrasies that give Cinema Side? I think the cinematography. I think the setting, camera, like I said, camera angles. That's the same thing as cinematography, and the routine of character development, because these are the things that I see everywhere now. You like I said, the main character having something going on in his life that now he'd rather not be involved in all this, but now he is. The circumstances, and then going on to get other people, and then that's the way it's being visualized. So the visualization, the cinematography, and the MO. What do you think, Black?
Yeah, that's probably where I'd fall to, is the cinematography and the what I was reading off earlier from Wikipedia, the template of we're assembling a team of warriors to go on a mission or protect a cluster of people under threat. That's kind of probably that's where I would fall.
And the majority of them would rather not be there at all. So,
by the way, here's a good question too that relates to who do you think who do you think might die in Rebel Moon? And the reason I ask that is because look over Zach's body of work. He has a real predilection for killing off major characters, or like characters making like heroic sacrifices. Obviously we know his plan for Batman to sacrifice himself, but Superman already died. BVS, Leonidas, all the Spartans died in 300. It was the ending of Sucker Punch. There's, of course, Rorschach getting blown to smithereens.
Okay, it's going to be hard for me to answer that one because I don't know. I don't have the detailed enough overview on the characters and where their journeys are and where they're at and where they would be ready to sacrifice themselves, because whereas Batman, it was easy because he has a lot of blood on his hands and he's become something that he did not set out to be. I'd have to know. I like I said, I might have to watch Nicotina's thing again, but he may not kill anybody in that regard. But then again, you have a movie like this where they are all assembled and then they all a lot of them do die. It may be more than one people too. I mean, it's tough to figure out without knowing as much as I really want to know about the individual characters. I know it's not going to be her. It's not going to be
it's not going to be Cora at this point. But that's stuff that's been on.
But at that point, it could be anybody. It could be any outside of her. Because if you're going to kill anybody, you're going to kill them now before there's any real connection to them. So outside of her, I mean, an Anthony Hopkins character, maybe. I don't think they'll kill Charlie Hunnam.
Yeah, I think Jimmy actually, he might be kind of, with the narration he has in the trailer, I think he might be kind of set up for.
Yeah, Jimmy might make too much money to be killed.
Well, I mean, he's a cyborg.
Yeah, he might be the end game. He might be the might be the
You can,
so he might be the one telling you everything long after it's over too.
You could take his CP out and plug in another robot's body, and
like R2D2 being the same robot handed upon the same people.
We have, of course, everybody once you see profanity, everybody wants to translate it.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Rand is in color, is it? The version I saw was in black and white. But Rand is on this format. We can look. I thought the only version I've seen of Rand, it was a Ron. Ron. I have to stop.
Ron and
Kagemusha,
and then there's a movie called Dreams.
Talk about these movies with.
Dreams came out in '89. It was produced
Yeah,
by
I
Steven
know there's a black
Spielberg.
and white version of Ron.
But Ron is in color, and
Yeah, he was.
Kajimusha.
That was.
And there's another one
Yeah.
too.
Is Ron Technicolor? Is Ron Technicolor, or was that originally? Because I thought I saw a black and white version. What year was Ron released?
85.
Wasn't that like in the 60s?
1985. Ron came out
Yeah,
after,
there's a black and
I
white
believe, after Kajimusha. Ron came out in '85.
Yeah, they put that in the theaters. They put that in the theaters on black and white. Believe it or not.
Okay.
Which
But
a
no,
lot of Japanese culture stuff. If you read a lot of manga and a lot of Japanese comic books in the 80s and 90s, they were all black and white.
Manga still is black and white for the most part.
Yeah, a lot of them still are.
Yeah, and that's always been the coolest thing. I'm not a big anime guy, but when I would read like Blade the Immortal, which is because I was in the Highlander, I loved the way they did that. You know, then they made a color version of it, and it didn't look as good. It's like almost like that particular type of artwork. All the Robotech and the Macross books that I have, those are all in black and white. And it's weird because I first came upon Robotech in the cartoon, and to see it stylized in color was kind of neat.
Yeah, I read a lot of the Fist of the North Star manga and a lot of the collected.
You know what? I wonder if I get a veteran. Oh yeah, yeah, because that's all Viz did was color, and then Dark Horse took them off. I wonder if I get a free Veterans Day mail from Sister Kim. Let me text her. Hey, Kim, do I get a free meal today because I'm a vet? Oh, by the way, guys, if I'm shopping at your place and you don't give a military discount, I'm leaving. No,
well, it's Veterans Day.
my dad will do that. My dad will actually get up and leave. Right? You offer military discount? Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. We don't. Oh,
by the way,
we would get up and leave. I'm like, where are we going? He's like, you give no discount. I'm eating there. I'm like, wow, damn.
Well, by the way, I saw the image you shared earlier of during your tour. So when was that exactly? That was like 2004?
That was August of 2004. I had just been kidnapped for. I was actually out of the army, and they stop-lossed me. They stop-lossed me and stopped my paperwork from going forward and said, "Hey, congratulations, Mr. Powell. You're going on it." And they said it. This is the exact words. You're coming with us to Southwest Asia. And I'm like, why don't you just say Iraq? I know where Southwest Asia is. I mean, and I'm like, I call him. I said, "Can I get out of this?" He's like, "No, unfortunately, they put you on stop loss." And then during times of conflict, I'm like,
they really started the whole stop loss.
Yeah, I'm like, I really don't feel like doing this. But it was like, I was like, you know what? By the time I fought it, it would have taken a year and a half to fight it. And I wasn't really like not that against it going. I'm like, fine. You know?
I mean, they really did the whole stop loss thing like big time, like 07, 08. As far as Iraq.
Yeah, that's when we called it was called the surge. We had two surges, and that's when they hit all those battles, and that's when the Fallujah, all that happened. So yeah, it was a big thing, but it was like, damn. I'm like, I had put on my weight. I had a full on beard and mustache because I was told I was done. I was just waiting for my product. I was going to get back in later on, but I at that particular juncture, I just didn't. I didn't want to go, and sure enough, man, they sounds all happy about it too. And we got your flight taken care of to Fort Lewis. I'm like, no, actually they wanted to send me to Mare Island in San Francisco, but I needed more time than they were giving me. I had a business to shut down. I'm like, we want to have you here in 48 hours. I'm like, are you out of your mind? I need a little bit more time than that. So I ended up flying to Fort Lewis because I had to put somebody in place here. I had to, they had already been together for a while. And what happened is once you mentioned the war, some of the pussies are like, "Oh, I don't want to go to war." I'm like, "You're joined the military, And so they would get out and get discharged, and so the unit couldn't leave. The unit couldn't leave and get into the country without a full unit. And I was that guy that they were waiting for. And I'm like, "You motherfuckers, man." And I get there at the airport, right? So I get there at the airport in Seattle, SeaTac Airport, and I'm like, maybe no one will be here, and I can just actually, turn around and get back on the plane and go home. I was just like, this seems like bullshit. And nope, sure enough, they were there waiting for me with a smile, and I'm like, you guys basically put a sack over my head, and I woke up with your unit. You kidnapped me. It was good though. I'm glad I went. I'm glad I went. I like to say, I met cool people that I'm still friends with today. And a lot of people go their entire military careers and they never go on deployment. They'll go in the military and they'll retire. They'll never do deployment. And be honest with you, I'm not going to retire, but I got my deployment. That puts me in a percentile of Americans that's within a 1 percentile. Because you had guys that were like 30-year careers and they served in peacetime, got out, never served in combat theater. So I figure it's more of a unique badge that I was able to, and I'm glad I got that out of the way. Like I said, it's one of those experiences that you're not gonna find too many other people outside of that life that are gonna be able to relate to you. So that was that picture. That picture was when I was at Fort Lewis. We were about to get on the plane to go back to Germany for me because I was born there. So, but yeah, it was. I remember it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. I just woke up. I really didn't want my picture taken. And it's like, oh, geez, this is gonna suck. I was still realizing that maybe this is gonna get called off. And it's not. Once we got our last couple of people, when you got those uniforms that I was wearing in that picture. You got your green. You showed up in your regular BDUs, which is battle dress uniforms. It's just the old school ones. You knew you were going to the combat when you got what we call the chocolate chips,
the desert fatigues. Yeah.
Yep. You knew that you were going. You were getting on that plane. It didn't matter what was wrong with you. I had 2 flat feet that should have disqualified me from being in the military. They didn't care. They asked me this: "Can you climb up on the plane and get on?" I'm like, "Yeah." Well, then you're going. You're qualified. They didn't care.
Should have told me you had bone spurs, dude.
Nah, I wasn't that kind of guy. It was more of it at the time. It was just not the best time to uproot and leave. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? They're eventually going to get me anyway, and why not just do this deployment? Nobody really wants to leave their home for 18 months, but it was like, because you're like, damn, you're used to, as a reservist, I'm used to my life, I'm used to my comfort, I'm used to my own bed, I'm used to all kinds of stuff. I'm used to the heat being capping out at about 115, not 130. I'm used to not being in a zone where you just being an American would get you killed, and no matter where you're at. And there's a whole bunch of security stuff. Like I said, it wasn't a joke. It was literally a combat theater we were going to. And it was real. Once you land down there, it's real, and you see all these. You got to take all these classes, how not to offend the local population. You have to do a counter-terrorist class or to know what to look out for, suspicious bags, anything like that. Because a lot of the people that we were dealing with in country were third-party people from other countries that were contracted out, and any one of them could be a terrorist. And it didn't matter whether you were in Fallujah or whether you were in Kuwait. If you were an American on Arab soil, you were a legit target, and they really drilled that into our heads. And it was like, damn, can I go back to Vegas? But then they had all kinds of, we had to go through chemical classes because at that time we didn't know about the whole chemical weapons thing. So you're in 120 degrees and that mop war is like, wow, this really sucks. And I said right at that point, and I still complain about Vegas' heat, but at that point I was like, I'm never going to complain about Vegas anything now because I might die here just because of the heat. And it was like, your body was just boiling hot. And it's like, you got all this stuff on. You're not in mop gear, but you got your body. You got everywhere you went, you had to have your body armor on. If you're outside the wire, outside the, and it was just wow. But you got used to it, though. I mean, we got there in October of 2004, and we left in October of 2005. So we were in country a full year. That doesn't include the pre-mob, which was 2 months, and the demob, which was another month and a half. And then when you get back to your home station, you're still demobilized. I was on active duty from 2000. When I got here from 2005, I took a year off, and I was on active duty from 2006, 2007, all the way up to 2012 or so, just as a reservist, setting up new units. But then now there's, we're all done. And so a lot of people missed out on the opportunity to get that deployment because once you get that combat patch, that's forever. Even if you don't retire in the military, you are now a veteran of a foreign war. You qualify for a whole bunch of stuff. If I wanted to go to college, it's a full ride scholarship. I have my GI Bill, plus I have the veteran of VFW stuff. I got, there's certain states that you live in if you're a veteran, and if you've served in combat theater, you get extra stuff. It's just all I would do is go for business school and probably end up doing what I'm doing now. So there you go. But yeah, there's my war story. Don't have to.
Well, that's good. Well, it's perfect timing with it being the intermission right now.
How long is this intermission?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I think it's
speed past this
one second.
information.
Yeah, is it starting back up?
It just
it's not
ended
that
for
long.
me, so
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a couple minutes.
Oh, I didn't even. Did I talk to the whole
Oh.
intermission? How long was it?
Yeah, it was about
It's
5
like
minutes.
5
there.
minutes.
Fuck, I could have just sped forward and ended it. No, that's still good. We still have what? Oh wow, we've gone through this whole movie. We're through half the movie, guys. So for those of you who stuck with us, how many of you guys are still with us here? Watching this on the replay is gonna suck, by the way, because we don't have we're not gonna have you'll just have to watch it on HBO Max and
Yeah.
Just can't you make annotations and designate the start point for people to follow along?
yeah, that's right. I can timestamp it on YouTube.
Well, yeah, that's another ZSJL parallel. Yeah, we are officially we've cut across through Seven Samurai Part 1 of Child of Fire, and now we're going into the Scar Giver.
Oh yeah, because that's gonna be his ass wanted to put out a 4-hour cut of his Rebel Moon, but people were like, no. But you could do it on Netflix, because you know what? A 4-hour cut on Netflix, guess what? Pause, go pee, have sex, go out, get the groceries, come back. You done
I've
Netflix.
watched
Now the theater, you can't do that shit.
Well, I've played because it was originally going to be released as a miniseries, but I played ZSJL as a miniseries multiple times because I was looking forward to that when it was going to be released as a miniseries. I was looking forward to the week-to-week discussions about it. Here's how this cliffhanger ended. Here's what it could mean for the next part, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the one thing I kind of lament didn't happen with the Snyder Cut's release. But I have played it in miniseries form multiple times. Just like over like a week, I'll play that one chapter, and yeah, it's like. It plays very well. That was it's a very fulfilling week to go through with when you go through with the DC's pantheon of heroes that way.
I think that, like I said, I really think that oh wait, hold on. What is it? I get a discount and a free drink. Ah, damn it. Oh well, they know. You know what? Sister Kim's knows they have me. Even if they didn't give me a free meal, they know I'm going down there. Damn it. That's all right. I had to try. Hey, listen, guys. I'm a cheap ass. I'm going to get the most free shit I can anywhere I can get it. I went to Applebee's and got some pancakes today. Toothy, what is your previous question, Toothy? I can't believe I just called you that ridiculous name.
Gotcha. Got him.
How the West was won. I use screen camera. Oh yeah. I've seen that. Have you?
I have not. No.
Yeah, Ron is in color, but they did a showing of. They did a festival of his movies, and there's a black and white version there too. Just like kind of like Justice is Gray. It's like that, but it was like limited like years ago. That's where I first saw it. Yeah, I've seen How the West was won.
Yeah, this thing he's cutting with here, it's called a kama. It's a Japanese sickle called a kama, and actually, it's a weapon you'll see like in ninjutsu. It's got a ball and chain attached. It's called a kusari gama.
Damn, listen to this guy.
Yeah, sometimes when I fought the hand in New York, they've tossed some of those at me, but I usually get the fuck out of the way just in time with the old Spidey sense. So,
yeah, I mean, you're probably surprised nobody. A lot of these old weapons were kind of fashioned out of farming tools like sai,
yeah.
Okinawa sai, or kind of a little bit like a shortened up pitchfork. And in fact, Korra actually, she's got like what looks like a giant kama on her shoulder.
Well, when you're talking about that, using the farming weapons, when you're watching Kagemusha, Nobunaga Oda is in there, and I believe it's Takeda is in there. So they're sending spies to each other, but the spies just look like farmers.
Yeah.
You should, if you've ever seen it, like it's exactly like how you describe it. But if you put it gives like a more realistic, because they probably weren't dressing up in all black and the whole nine, but because they're spies, so they have to blend into the population, and but. Yeah, to your point, though, that's something in Kagemusha that you can see.
Yeah, trying to see if there are any other weapons I can kind of comment on a bit here. It's mostly just katanas I'm seeing here. You know, there's a looks like there's a Yari spear right here. Yeah, because you get another one the samurai carried was called the Naginata, which for those of you who know what that is, it looks kind of like a really big scalpel. And it's a two-handed weapon, so like the pole is really long, but the blade is a lot shorter. But again, it resembles like a giant scalpel. I think William, I want to see what to go get his
What was the 3-point spear called? They show them some of the samurai with 3-point spears. What is that called?
That I probably need to look up. I could tell you offhand. I would actually like to at some point. Then my end of doing this is my,
He's on his smartphone.
Progressing with my new school. It's like one thing, starting learning weapons a lot more. It's like I was like deciding which one I would pick as I progress, and I realized, oh right, it's like I was a big Bruce Lee fan, and just saw John Wick 4 and Keanu going to town on those guys with nunchucks. It's like, oh yeah, I'm getting nunchucks. That's what I'm gonna go with. Yeah, those are big, and yeah, those are cheesy, but I love them. The Sho Kosugi, like Revenge of the Ninja trilogy. He was actually the bad guy in Ninja Assassin, I think in 2009. I remember going to that. I had no expectations for that whatsoever. I thought that was going to be like another Charlie's Angels, and that blew me away. That was like one of the best surprises.
Ninja Assassin was all right. It was all right.
Well, it's kind of like Kill Bill in a way, because it has similar like fountains of volcanic eruptions of blood every time somebody gets cut. So it's definitely very stylized. But yeah, I love Ninja Assassin. Probably my all-time favorite ninja movie, that was still a Ninja Shadow of a Tear, with Scott Adkins. That's my estimation, probably the best ninja movie ever made. Oh, that looks like an uncomfortable position to be sleeping in. Okay.
He's on his smartphone chilling.
Oh yeah, I mean, you don't even have a pillow there. You just on that log there. Imagine like his foot slips into that fire and then he gets a really rude awakening.
Whoa there.
I'm kind of curious how did they do like a lot of these nighttime scenes when you're filming in black and white? Like, how does that work? Or like logistically back in the 50s.
Don't they like adjust the saturation or something like that?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. But it's like that's cinematography. That's not my.
Because in Lawrence of Arabia, all the scenes are done in the daytime, but they saturate all the nighttime scenes.
Yeah, so that might have been like doing a day for night. But again, we're talking like in the 50s. I'm kind of wondering like had the technology sort of caught up for them to be able to do that by then, as far as shooting night scenes, especially if you're shooting in black and white. The other thing too, also looking at this horse here, some of the concept art that Zach has put out for Rebel Moon, they're like horse type creatures that appear in it, but I'm sure they're going to go by different. Kind of curious what the sort of biology behind a lot of these creatures is going to be, like the griffins, like those giant birds. Which I'm sure there are going to be more of those in there than we've even seen in the trailers.
Look at that horse, huh?
Yeah, some punchy sticks here. And fortifying the village. This looks hot, like a hot day out there. I had a friend in college. He did a study abroad 6 months when he went to Japan. He told me about it. That was the summer. He said, yeah, he said it was really hot while he was there.
I think Fourth might have answered your question about how the.
Okay, let me go ahead and pull it up here. Okay. Let's start with the first one. Might be using film stock that's black and white as it was cheaper. Night scenes use a higher ASA or ISO for modern cameras, still require live lighting for grayness exposure. Okay, thanks. Yeah, because anybody who knows me knows I'm a big film over digital person. Yeah, I'm not the most technologically knowledgeable guy in the world, so that the sort of intricacies of that are all those things I sort of find myself catching up to everybody else on. I guess I'm seeing. Well, we'll change that, man. It's awesome. But I see Kasugi's kids on the movies now. Yeah, King Kasugi. He's kind of he's made a little more of a name for himself since like he's in a Shadow of a Tear God. He's awesome fight scene with Scott Adkins. He was in this one also right when I was getting out of high school called Muscle Heat or Blood Heat. And that was pretty cool. That was a pretty awesome one that he did. Yeah, check those out.
It's got more to add about.
Fourth is? Okay.
Yeah.
Each film stock comes with a sensitivity rating called ASA. The higher the number, the better for low light solution. So daylight might use 51, night might use 5. Yeah, see, this is why I would not be a cinematographer. It's like my skill is with the written word. It's like we're dealing with like numbers and light to dark ratios. That's like, no, that's not how my brain functions.
Yeah, but you guys, I heard you guys talking about camera and light.
Yeah, because I was kind of wondering like how when you're filming in black and white, how they did some of the nighttime scenes, and Fourth was getting a little bit of he broke the troll act for a little bit here, and he gave a little bit of a rundown on it. I'm sure he'll be back at it very shortly.
Yeah, he's big into that stuff, which is cool. Like I said, when I got to meet Fourth, he had a nice little camera and everything else. I was using my phone. Fourth had some high tech shit. I'm like, oh wow, okay, cool. Running out of time to get free food from places. Only got 6 hours left. Come on.
By the way, William, I can see on the TV you got there. You also got TNT going there. It's like has Justice League come up this weekend at all? Like,
you can see, yeah. Not yet, but I'm watching it on the East Coast feed, so it's bound to be afterwards, or some DC movie is going to be on afterwards.
Well, just give us one of the good ones, not the one that caused us so much pain and heartache.
But like I said,
I get it.
There's good in there.
Do you think it'll ever be the Zack Snyder's Justice League will ever be shown on cable? With it being such a long movie, I mean, obviously.
No, you can't.
Maybe on like a Christmas or a Thanksgiving type of thing. They do marathons of the same movie all day, or James Bond marathons all the time. So
Yeah,
We
but
could probably do that.
Those marathons are much shorter movies. So.
Well, like
Yeah,
a lot
but
of times. A lot of times
Go
when
ahead.
something's shown on cable, they'll have a little caption that says this movie's been formatted to fit, to fit within the time allotted, which that means that when they show it on cable and they have to coordinate it with like the broadcast they have planned, they will take out a lot of scenes.
What they should do, and I know this will be sacrilege for us, but we've already seen the 4-hour cut. They should make it maybe a 2-hour cut of Zack Snyder's one, if they could, when keeping certain things in, certain things out, and put a QR code on the screen saying, if you want this movie, see this movie in its complete entirety, go there. But ad revenue wise, that's a tough sell. That's a tough
here's
sell.
here's an idea.
QR codes going on and everything. It's tough.
Here's
It
an
shows
idea.
up, not permanently.
I know.
Here's an idea. Why maybe they could, as far as like a cable broadcast, like do it like one part at a time as a miniseries, like on TV or TNT, like like I was saying, like on a nightly thing, like show one chapter of it in like a an hour bracket of time, and like run that over the course of 6 nights.
Oh, I would do that. And like I said, here's another idea for you. Instead of, if you don't want to take my box set idea, Dave Zazoff, because I know you're watching this right now.
He's watching us watch TCO.
Yeah, watching his HBO Max. Do a special event, a special televised event, and do a 5-day event, and each of those 5 days has a part of that story being told, and have that do the same thing I was going to have the box set do, which is lead into what James Gunn is doing. Use what you have to sell what you want to sell. That's why I mean like completion. It's a lot easier to sell people a lot of things if it's just not a bunch of junk thrown around and disorganized. If you can create a nice mosaic for people, they'll buy it. It's a lot easier to sell. And you're using your stuff that you have now to sell the stuff that you want to sell here in the next year and 20 months, and spend that 20 months doing that. But you got to have a plan to be able to do that. And I just don't like when companies, they don't come in with a vision. They come in with business dynamics, which is good, which you need the things that David Zaslav has, but you also need a vision. You need imagination. And I just don't think right now, I think he's better than what we had, but I think DC continues to suffer from a failure of imagination, and that hurts the business, because you got a guy who's never had to deal with something like this. And like I said, you have to think outside the box. You have to think like a fan. You have to think like a geek. And James Gunn is capable of thinking like a geek, but the people who hired James Gunn need to have to have that kind of vision. The vision that David Zaslav had for James Gunn is that he knew him from Guardians of the Galaxy for the most part. That's not a vision. That's being a peripheral fan. But even though I agree with James Gunn's the right guy, I just think that everybody involved needs to be thinking outside of the traditional boxes, because you're in an untraditional situation. You're in a really bad situation. Why not use what you have? It's already paid for. It's already done. Put it together. Create a new sub-story for it, one that serves one purpose, but it can serve two purposes. It can close this gap and get the maximum amount of revenue off these things that we've already paid for. That's extra money. And it also slingshots your core audience that you've gotten their attention into this new thing. Instead of just waiting around for let's Superman Legacy, here it is, love it or take it or leave it. Why not get me ready to love Superman Legacy? Why not put me on that slide towards there to get me happy? Not just Superman Legacy. Let's get me excited about DC in general. Fucking every Wednesday, I'm telling you, every Wednesday we should be talking to two gyms. Double J, you should be talking to those guys, and they should be leading us in. And this next 20 months should be making the case of why I should give any of these movies a chance. Because if you wait till then, if you wait till July of 2025, I wouldn't bet on those odds. A fanboy might bet on those odds, but the other 98% of the population that has slowly walked away will be like, hey, you know what? You're going to get, the further away we get and the more time we have in between, the harder it's going to get the casual fan. The geek, we have nothing else to do. We'll be there. But the casual fan has tons of shit to do and better options. And they've had time to choose those options. Now they got 20 more months. So like I said, I would be showing this. I would show the full Zack Snyder Justice League, but Monday night, that's the part that has the Flash's arc on it, add on. Tuesday night, that's the part that has Green Lantern, whatever you want to do it in order. And by the time you get to Friday night, or by the time you get to that last day, that's the end game of it all, and then that's what tosses you into coming soon, July 2025. And I would be sitting down with James Gunn to do all this because we want it to work for his thing too. Because like I said, if we just wait till July, if we're just now ramping it up in maybe June, or just in the normal traditional way, I think Superman Legacy is going to have a hard time making money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whether it's good or not.
Oop, he just got cut down from there. Yeah, I think like we said earlier, a lot of the sword violence is a lot more implied here than like Kill Bill.
Yeah, because there's people that should be disemboweled and they're not. And Kill Bill is like that violence is like, come on, man. Come on, man. What are we doing here?
I'm trying to what is the most ridiculous example in Kill Bill?
So
I think it is probably. Yeah, probably so. The fact that you cut both legs and one arm or whatever it was off, and like she doesn't.
And she lived. She lived. That's the most ridiculous part about that.
I mean, the only thing I can assume is that the bride, like, placed her stumps up against like a heater or something and cauterized the bleeding and stopped the bleeding.
Too much blood pressure would have been lost. She's dead. She's dead because you're losing too much blood pressure to your organs. Your heart's not going to have enough. That you're going to go into shock and you're going to be dead before she could do all that. It'd be different if it was a like a lightsaber. But even then, like what happened to Anakin, he was, that was bullshit too. But we take it because it's Star Wars. But he lost your blood pressure and everything else is going to drop. You're literally going to go into shock. You're dead. But fine.
We take it with Anakin also because he gets put into the Darth Vader suit that that can sustain his horribly burned body.
Yeah, but you only have
it wasn't just lightsabers. He was getting burnt up by lava.
Your body
yeah, that lava and yeah.
Yeah, he was dying on a much larger base. He was Wile E. Coyoting it,
Well, he was Wile E. Coyoting it, then Kill Bill.
Obi-Wan was the Roadrunner.
Itchy was scratching.
The Roadrunner. Obi-Wan was the Roadrunner. It's bullshit that he should. Obi-Wan should have not, and I get it because it has to be the way it is. But Anakin just flipped off of a lava waterfall onto a droid that was smaller than the area between his knees. He landed on that perfectly, continued having a lightsaber battle on that, and then when they get to the little hill that's like maybe 2 meters tall max, Obi-Wan Kenobi gets the high ground on that.
And I'm like, I have the high ground. I'm like, so what?
Anakin just flipped over a lava waterfall and landed perfectly on that little droid. There's no way in shit that he's missing that. I got the high ground. Shouldn't affect that at all. Plus, he's Darth Vader. He's true Darth Vader at that point with no weakness. Nothing's holding him back. I mean, he could have just force crushed Obi-Wan Kenobi right there. But you got to do what you got to do. I get it. The story would not be Star Wars if it wasn't. But that scenario right there, Anakin shouldn't have lost because look how cold he was in that fight. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, like I said, anything can happen in 20 months, but once again, that's 20 more months for your casual guy to be like, super what? What is this? I got, there's better stuff coming. I mean, you just don't know. And like I said, I think there's too much time in between. I think the product.
I saw that his comment. I was going to pull it up a minute ago. Actually, what you're saying earlier about Anakin too, I always love the way he gets burned. It's like it's not even like that grandiose. It's like one little spark river
just starts catching the rest
comes up and just
fire,
yeah. That actually kind of makes it worse in some ways. It's not like a explosion or anything. It's not like horrible immolation.
Kind of roasting.
Yeah,
he's just roasting.
Genius of Kill Bill.
Get
Few
the
has
helmet scene
first
in Empire
mythological-
Strikes Back that would resemble that, you know.
Bride is like the first mythological. The bride's like a superhero. She can assassin jump tall buildings. The second half is the reality situation. Also, I mean, she does punch her way out of a coffin under 6 feet of dirt too. So
Can that be done, Mr. Kung Fu guy?
I cannot.
Batman did it. Batman did it on.
You know how much weight that dirt would add to, and the fact that she has to punch from like half an inch away. No. That's it. We're talking about that's
But she's.
I've seen actually a couple of movies that I really like.
Mind over matter.
Iron Protector, and there's also one recently from India called Ganapath, where the heroes they get buried. They're not in coffins, but they're buried under a lot of dirt, and they dig their way up. That's slightly more believable, but still, it's like you got to turn your brain off for something like that because that's like that's.
Yeah.
Well, what about the whole thing that was leading up to that? All the things that her punching the wood to where she could punch through it, even before she was buried. Would she be able to do that?
Would she be able to punch through the coffin from that distance?
No. Yeah, no, the wood. Remember the wood she was doing before when she was cutting the wood?
Yeah.
Or she was hitting the wood?
You mean her training?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's like that. It's like if you do that long enough, she can. You could be Bruce Lee.
Okay, somebody's got their volume up really loud. Is that you, Spidey? I can hear the screaming through the.
Yeah, I could too.
Yeah, we don't want to disappear.
You can do that. I've seen guys do that 1-inch punch through, through boards and things like that. But yeah, although hers is a little bit. That was a little bit.
I want to see
she does it.
You do it, Brad. I want to see you punch through the wood. Yes, we finally got it. We finally got it going after 3 tries. Now, Brad, I want to see you do it on stream. I want to see you.
It's fun. It's funny you should say that. Actually, I just broke for the first time in my life. I think it was back in April. I actually broke a brick for the first time. Because
pictures didn't happen.
Yeah, I've done plenty of what pictures didn't happen.
Video. Video. I don't believe it.
I'll be probably breaking more stuff pretty soon, I'm sure. But I've done plenty of boards in my life. But went through a brick for the first time, and that one I used my palm for. Because I'm still.
I'll tell you what, Brad. We'll bury you out here in a coffin, and I think
I'm not
you get
gonna
out.
Punch my way through 6 feet.
I mean, I'll be there above you with the shovel, waiting to dig you out. If you can't do it, if you really can't do it, then we'll go ahead and dig you out. But I want you to try. I want you to have the motivation. I think you can do it, Brad. I think you can do it. And I don't, with that attitude of yours, of course you're going to fail. But I think if I actually put you in the box, in the dirt, and you don't really have much of a choice, but to at least try, I think you're going to get some good results.
Okay, well, we'll go for it. And
so when you come out to Vegas,
we got these guys. We got they got the SmackDown happening now at the Burned Village, and this is the other thing too. Is like because I mean, obviously both the Star Wars and the Seven Samurai influence. I'm really curious what the backstory on those lava sabers is going to be in Rebel Moon.
I know the background of them. They're both lightsabers.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's like I'm talking like
in movie. Oh, in universe. Oh, okay, yeah, that'd be cool if they actually just came out and said it in the movie. Yeah, these are another movies I did, but this is our version. You ever seen Star Wars? Nah, never mind. It just broke the third. If they broke the fourth wall and just said some shit like.
Oh, by the way, I just thought about this in the trailer. There's that one part with Duna Bay's character where the village is burning down. So this might be, it might be a callback to this.
I told you this whole movie. It's like wow, yeah.
And you know what? Here's the thing, though. It's like if Zach includes in Rebel Moon a scene of somebody punching their way out of a coffin under 6 feet of dirt, awesome. And they make it at the top, he's somebody I will buy that under. He can make me believe that. And, by the way, to kind of go back to the board breaking training she does in that, it's a little bit, I don't know, maybe this is a little bit different from what I've seen, but usually because that's a 1-inch punch that she's doing, the Bruce Lee kind of made that famous. But usually when you do that, you keep your fist. Yeah. There's you look it up on YouTube. I mean, and he doesn't a lot of his movies or he was tiny, but he could send like a guy your size back 8 feet to that. But,
I would not fuck with Bruce Lee. I would not fuck with Bruce Lee, man. I was like, nah.
But usually,
You look dangerous.
When he would do that, usually he would keep his fist vertical. And when she was doing her training, she would turn it horizontal and hit with her top 2 knuckles, and he's going with his bottom 3. So, yeah, and usually when I've seen demos of that, it's been with a vertical fist. So maybe either that's maybe Tarantino kind of flubbing it, or maybe that's kind of a different method I'm not really as aware of. But
well, if you can't punch your way out of the coffin, I don't want to talk kung fu with you if you can't punch your way out of the coffin. I mean,
just little details like that stand out to me. But
like I said, Brad, when you come down to Vegas, you're gonna take a drink and you're gonna wake up and I'm gonna be like, Brad, there's no choice now.
And you're gonna bury me. I'm probably gonna as I'm digging my way, I'm probably gonna find Jimmy Hoffa right next to me.
So yeah, he didn't get out, by the way. Spoiler alert. I'm gonna give you enough room to do this.
One thing she actually does in there that is maybe not quite the way she does it is not fully, maybe it's a little bit fantastical, but I mean you can't actually gouge someone's eye out very easily. You just use your thumb.
Oh yeah, it's soft tissue.
Slide and just bang, take it out like that.
I wonder if she got bit by that snake. They never show it.
Oh yeah, I love the fact she doesn't even kill her after she does that, because it's like
she'll wander around.
Yeah, well, she'll starve to death or dehydrate eventually. But if that snake doesn't get her, yeah, here we come. Oh yeah, and this is also definitely that flag from the Zack Snyder Justice League marketing. That flag is definitely the flag.
Oh
we
yeah,
saw
the flag we saw from the first time. And there's flags in the Rebel Moon too. I don't think they mean the same thing. But
there's the one shot with Korra, kind of standing triumphantly, planting her flag there. I'm telling you, I've seen that box set with exactly that art on it. I gotta find that somewhere. Oh, here's a good one from Daniel. Explain art. Then you got Twitter trolls. Okay. Oh yeah, I always love this shot with them coming over the hill. And actually, it kind of looks a little bit like the mountain that Godzilla first kind of pops his head over and got the original Godzilla.
Gojira.
He's only in like 20 minutes of that movie, or people tend to forget.
What, Godzilla?
Yeah, they were in the original.
Oops, shit. Let's see. I'm actually getting this show set up while I'm doing this.
I got you. Talking about samurai movies too. I actually thought the 40, with Keanu 47 Ronin actually wasn't bad. That's kind of I was liking that too, like 300 with samurai, because it's got a lot of fantastical elements, but it's also got a historical basis. And that movie actually bombed pretty hard, but they did eventually make a sequel. It was a straight DVD one. It's called Blade of the 47 Ronin, but it's actually really, really awesome. But I do have to include the caveat.
Those movies aren't generally popular when they come out.
Yeah, a lot of them tend to find their audience on streaming, or But 47 Ronin, I got a little bit of a caveat to add on to that. saying that story credit is Chris Morgan and Walter Hamada.
Let's see. Be right back.
You gotta be really careful with those swords there, dudes, when you're smacking the horses with that. You gotta hit it with the blunt side. You want to be cutting into your horse's ass. That's that. Yeah, like I said, the Blade of the 47 Ronin, the sequel to the Keanu movie. They're both pretty good, but Blade of the 47 Ronin, that is really a really strong follow up on a way lower budget too. That's why it has Mark Dacascos and Mike Moe and a lot of big martial arts guys in it. Yeah, I've always found it weirdly ironic that Walter Hamada has a story credit on 47 Ronin. It's like, oh, and then his subsequent history with this fandom that we all love so much. Yeah. He's back doing his thing with horror movies, so it's like he's doing what he's good at again. Did they have green screens back in 54? Because this does look a little bit green screened here. Or maybe it's just like forced perspective. I don't know. Kind of easy.
I don't know, but didn't they use like matte to it or anything like that?
Yeah,
like
that might have been. Yeah,
backgrounds.
That could have been it. Yeah. It's a good one, Daniel. Hamada, I vanquish thee.
Fourth might have answered your question.
Yeah, right here I see it's like green screen shots better. We're called process shots. Yeah, do you are you like a camera guy Fourth, or is there something I'm missing there? You definitely have knowledge there. Because I actually took a film production course about 7 years ago, so I know a lot of the technicals, but that was not my specialty with cinematography. I was kind of more into the the grip and lighting kind of the aspect of it. Yes, again, thank you for letting me know, Fourth. Tarantino imitated the process shot. Yeah, he did. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've actually, speaking of that, with the film course I took, because I have worked on a couple of 48-hour movies. They're not like they weren't like big things, but the day I was doing one was the day that that was back in 2017 was the day at Comic-Con when the Justice League trailer at Comic-Con dropped that day. So we were all, as we were making it, we were like checking our phones, like, is it up yet? And it finally came up like towards the end of the day, and I didn't really get to pull it up until after it went home at the end of the day. But yeah, and then of course we didn't end up actually seeing the movie it was advertising until 3.5 years later. But that's a real fun out of that. Yes, it is Samir. It's a gorgeous movie in black and white. Yes, it is fourth. It definitely is. Yeah, I keep watching him doing the whip cracking on their horse with their swords. Like, yeah, I just hope you guys are hitting them with the blunt side or with the the flat end. Like, you're gonna open up a whole world of trouble. You hit the horse the wrong way with the katana. I always forget how much running is involved in these old samurai movies. I was imagine like with the village burning here. Imagine if you put the Cannibal Holocaust theme over that. That is my sick little mind working. Okay, William is back. You're trying to cash in all those Veterans Day discounts as much as you can before the clock runs out.
I have till midnight. Well, then again, no, not in Vegas because everything closes at 8. So.
Oh yeah, you're right. We wrapped up that stream. You went like another 20 minutes afterward, going off about the midnight cutoff point.
Not even midnight. It was like 9. Mayberry Standard Time. Let's see.
Right, you guys keep talking. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
There's a lot of fires in this movie. But... Mayberry rolls up the streets early. That's for damn sure. But it's a town with one sheriff. I mean, their law enforcement is 2 guys, Barney Fife and Andy Griffith. So that tells you what's going on there.
Okay, I'm back. And right as I'm back,
Is it freeze?
didn't for me. Oh no, he has a little spinning
No.
wheel for me. Has a little buffer, but
What the hell's going on? Hold up. That should not be happening. What the hell, man? There you go.
okay, good.
No, stop it. I guess in the heat of the moment, you could fall for this.
Oh, yeah. Samurai armor and a straw stick, yeah.
It's pretty smart, actually. Especially if you're outgunned, literally. I say tomorrow morning. No, fuck that. Get him now.
Yeah, Clint here. Says if Kim's this evening would have come up and said hi, but stairs are too fierce. Not quite sure you're saying
he's
there.
downstairs? He's downstairs. Right? That's what he means. He can't get
Okay.
up there. Yeah. I'm going to say hi to him.
Yeah, bring any more duck nonsense into it, Clint. I just thought of another one actually that might have a bit of a Seven Samurai parallel in the sense that it involves a young warrior devising traps and against coming attack on his fortress homestead. And then, of course, is the young warrior named Kevin McAllister in Home Alone and Home Alone 2 Lost in New York. Those timeless classics that are fully inspired by
Seven
Kurosawa.
Samurai.
I mean, he's fortifying his base. There's an attack coming.
Okay.
He's setting up traps. He's clearly a brilliant strategist and young warrior. So there you go.
So he gets help kind of from the neighbor in the first movie. So who else is who else are the other six?
Well, he gets the pigeon lady in the second one.
Okay, two.
And then there's the cop who knocks on the door. It doesn't do anything, but he shows up. There's there's the
Sounds
Santa
like
with
Reach, maybe 3.5 Samurai.
There's the Santa with the Tic Tacs. And there's the chick at the Santa place who gives him directions to the Santa with the Tic Tac. And that's all. That's the first one. There's the only ones I can think of. And then the cops that show up and get Harry and Marv. And then the second also has it has Duncan. It has Mr. Duncan. Well, I think did William jump off? Did William take off? Is William?
All right. I'm sorry, I just muted it for a second. I'm a little bit ahead of units in a battle scene, and
Okay,
it sounds like
I
it's
get it.
disruptive. So,
well, no. So I'm thinking, who else really helps Kevin though?
I think is about the last two you can use, man.
Well, then there's the concierge in the second one. I mean, they give him the courage to run away and develop his own fortress. There's the cop who helps Kevin's mother. Kevin's mother also kind of helps, even though she's a horrible parent, but she comes home to rescue her son and provide support. Who else? Who else in this bullshit?
The phone company when he's on the phone with his mom, I guess.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. That's everybody. That's the whole Samurai alliance, and so it proves definitively that I am right that Home Alone is directly and Home Alone 2 Lost in New York are directly influenced by Kurosawa and Seven Samurai. You're welcome.
I might be mistaken on this, but
Yeah.
I believe Buzz, the actor who plays Buzz, gets killed in one of the Marvel shows. I want to say it's in
Yeah, Devin
it's in
Ratcliffe.
it's either in Shield, unfortunately, or it's in Punisher. It's one of those two. I can't remember.
I love how Buzz actually he just turns it. He's even more of a dick in the second one. Yeah.
Sorry about that. We just got a massive internet outage.
No, cool, man. Yeah, because you went down and the Twitch thing briefly went down.
Yeah, hold on.
But I was just telling Spider-Man and our viewing audience here about how the Home Alone movies are clearly directly influenced by Kurosawa and Seven Samurai because they involve an attack coming on the McAllister homestead or in the house that's being Duncan's toy chest, and the house is being renovated in New York, and Kevin has to fortify everything and set traps to take them down. He has support from people here and there like Mr. Duncan and the pigeon lady and the old guy with the shovel and the concierge and the cops that bumble into it, and the one who knocks on the door, and the Santa with the tit tacs and all that. So clearly, it's a direct one-to-one parallel. Kevin is a
wow. What the hell?
Kevin is a brilliant strategist and warrior because he takes down the wet bandits with his samurai like battle strategies. They're gonna be writing books about that.
Okay, dude. I don't. That's very powerful. That's a very powerful presentation there.
Well, I mean, it's like the whole thing about it's right here in the Seven Samurai Wikipedia.
Oh, look! Okay, I'm going to show you guys something real quick.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, there's no money in these movies in this universe, huh?
Oh,
they're playing Wonder Woman.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Wonder Woman 84. Oh God.
Hey, look who's produced it.
Oh yeah, no, I love the fact that when their credit, Zack Efron's credit comes up, the crowd cheers.
Yeah, because it's like the only thing good about this particular movie. Let me go ahead and turn this nonsense off because that movie sucked. Like I told you, man, if you're gonna be showing the movies anyway, why don't you make some money off of them?
I kind of headcanon Wonder Woman 84 now is kind of like the equivalent to like
Highlander too.
Yeah, well, also it's like almost like a Marvel What If story, like equivalent to DC. That's kind of my headcanon for it.
Wow, that's a.
It's just a piece of spaghetti, guys. It's just.
Yeah. It's another strand of spaghetti it's another strand of spaghetti. It's like and the thread they sometimes they blend, sometimes they intertwine, but sometimes they run parallel, and this is kind of running parallel. That's my headcanon for Wonder Woman 84.
Fourth has a question for you, William. I'd vote for that.
This one right here,
Excalibur.
Yeah, I could see. For like another watch party.
Yeah, with Lancelot. Yeah, with Camelot. Yeah,
that's the stabbing scene for.
That's a really hard movie to get through, though. I remember seeing that as a kid, and that's a long. I think it's a really long movie, isn't it?
I don't remember. I saw it like a couple years back. I don't remember.
I saw it back in like 84, 85 when I was a kid. Just like hearing gunshots in this movie is weird.
Yeah,
because it's all mostly swordplay.
When Doomsday stabs Superman and BVS, that's right out of Mordred stabbing King Arthur.
I love the fact in the Ultimate Edition too, because they did have to sort of trim down a lot of the or sort of soften some of the violence for 13 for the theatrical release. But I love in the Ultimate Edition how what they do in the theatrical version is they show him like from like the neck up. But in the Ultimate Edition, they show it, like from the chest down, so you can see. You can clearly see you could see him also running his body through Doomsday's bone spur so he could impale him with the kryptonite spear.
Yeah. It's such a good movie.
You and the Land are one. Yeah, I remember when Zach actually when we crossed the home stretch of the Snyder Cut campaign, and he like right around Christmas Eve, he was dropping a whole bunch of images from the movie, and it was quoting Excalibur, and I think there was one it was either with Steppenwolf or it was with Superman that he had that specifically You and the Land are one. I need to look at that again, but and it all led up to drink from the chalice and be reborn.
Oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, I mean, I've been told about the influence of that, but why you guys are breaking it down that way, I'm actually visualizing it. And yeah, that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, but of course, but of course, it's like there is no greater modern contemporary remake or reimagining of Seven Samurai than Home Alone. It's just it's scientific proof.
I'm about to time you out for the.
I've established that beyond any kind of questionable doubt.
You're talking Chappie speak now, man. Where's this Chappie in here? But, let's see. Just putting my hashtags and we're ready to go for this damn overnighter. Bonsai.
The thing about it is too with Home Alone. You're joking aside. It's amazing to me. It's like just you don't realize till you're an adult just how violent that movie is,
or how stupid those parents are.
Yeah. Oh no, not just how stupid, how ill-suited they are to be parents. I mean, that family, they're all horrible people. I'm sorry, they all.
Yeah. I mean, my parents didn't leave the room sometimes without making sure that where we were at. You left the damn fucking country. You left. Didn't they go to Paris or some shit like that?
They go to Paris in the first one, then they go to Miami in the second one. Then they actually make it with him to the airport in the second one, but they get separated and they don't do a full head count.
Okay, so when the plane takes off, wouldn't be one of the first things made. Wait, we have all the kids. Especially the badass one that we left behind last time. One time would be all it would take. There would be no Home Alone 2. I remember Kevin, what's his face? Kevin Hart was talking they did the commercial with the mom. He's like, you lost another Kevin? Yeah.
Well, then when they get to the airports, they'll say, "Here, give this to Kevin." No, Kevin's not here. Kevin's not here. Kevin's not here. And Uncle Frank is an asshole.
The first Home Alone is a classic movie, like way more than the second one. But the first one is great. It is great. You are saying all this stuff.
Well, the first one is like you said, it's like cartoon Tom and Jerry violent. It's like
wow. Well, I think even the second one.
Those people should be dead.
Well, I think even more so the second one, because the second one has the part where Kevin has thrown bricks onto Daniel Stern's head from 3 stories up, and he survives somehow.
If you watch Violent Night, which is the Christmas horror movie from last year, that's basically Home Alone with with the violence that they would have been put in if they could. That's some curious. Yeah. Hold on. Load. Here we go. Ah, damn it. You know what? We're gonna just do this. No, we can't do that. Damn it. Hold on. I gotta decrease Loki's size here. Working on my thumbnail. I'm pretty happy with this thumbnail. Okay, you're done. We're done with you. Here we go. crop.
Now they're just dropping like flies here.
Well, yeah, it's gotten to that point of the movie where the end of the journey for some of these people, and obviously we know we have some survivors because that's the formula.
Yeah.
I like the formula. I think the formula works. All right, crop. Save as.
William, would you ever do the Phoenix as a turning point?
What part of the story will we be talking about?
The initial and the Dark Phoenix?
The X-Men 107, 105-ish? Yeah, I would probably do the whole story. Like from
Okay.
107, X-Men 107, all the way up to X-Men 137. Because it's
Okay.
a 2-year story arc that has a false ending, by the way. It's a fucking rip-off ending because we were led to believe all the way up until X Factor that Jean Grey was dead because of all that, and she was in the cocoon because that's what they needed at the time. But,
But
so another
that's the
fake
whole-
comic book death. The only people that
But they kind of were setting the whole rebirth thing up the whole time, weren't they? Anyways, the entity of the Phoenix.
not
was-
necessarily. Well, the entity of the Phoenix was said to have left her, and then Jean Grey was supposed to have died, and
Mhm.
but that was before they came up with X Factor, because in Avengers 263 they actually find her cocoon at the bottom of the ocean in Avengers 263, and she's alive, and now let's go form X Factor. It's like, I thought when I found that out, I'm like, first of all, it's not even a fucking X-Men book that you did this in, because I don't think Chris Claremont at the time
wanted to do that.
her to come back. I never had any evidence of that, but I don't think Chris Claremont wanted her to come back. But Walt Simonson and Louise Simonson, I believe, had a lot of power. They were the only other people in Marvel that had more power at that time than Chris Claremont, and Chris Claremont was on good relations with them, so he didn't really get in the way of it. But I think he meant for that dramatic effect for her to die, and that was it. Him and John Byrne wrote that story, and they meant for her to die because she wasn't an X-Man anymore. They didn't know X Factor was going to be a concept coming. X Factor wouldn't happen until a few years later. But she's like in the ocean, and they're all what's with the everybody in Marvel, human or not, can go into suspended animation and go into the bottom of the fucking ocean no matter what.
That's why I don't like That's why I don't like Krakoa at all, because that's basically the whole storyline on crack, man.
It's like, you know what, we don't need you right now. We're gonna kill you, but no, you're not gonna die. But you've been in suspended animation for a really long time.
Too
like,
much
stop
money on the
that
line.
trope,
Marvel even knew back then, before they got bought by Disney. These characters are too popular.
Well, at the time, Jean Grey wasn't.
Okay.
Because they had left. Well, what had happened is, by the time Jean Grey died, Cyclops had come back to lead the X-Men, and he brought her with him. Remember, after Giant X-Men #1, the issues afterward, where Chris Claremont took over, he replaced all those X-Men with the ones that were in the brand, the Giant Size X-Men #1, and they left for years. He comes back in issues like 120. He came back like a year later. So he came back in issues like 102, 103, and he took over leadership from the team.
Mm-hmm.
And then he brought Jean Grey back with him. But at that time, Wolverine was cementing himself as an X-Men. Storm was cementing herself as an X-Men. So they had kind of gotten to the periphery. So I thought they were disposable characters to kill. And that's why killing her, because you're not killing a mainline X-Men. You're killing one of the main ones, but you're not, they're not, she wasn't that popular, because remember, that book got canceled. X-Men got canceled. X-Men ran up to issue 67, and it got canceled. And they were put in reprints up until Giant X-Men #1, and then in X-Men #95 is when you got back to continuous issues. But those characters, we love them now, but those characters weren't selling books. That book actually got canceled. A lot of people don't know that.
I didn't.
All right, there you go, and we are ready for the show. Yay, you guys are going to love this thumbnail. Oh, thumbnail in there. Oh, a lot of screaming going on. What part of the movie are we in?
Yeah, I mentioned you stepped away from it. I always forget how much just running around is always involved in these old samurai movies.
Running around in a small area, in a very small set too, by the way.
Yeah.
This set's not that big. If you look at it, they're recycling a lot of shit in this set.
Yeah. That's pick up on that if you're looking where how much they film a lot of stuff from different angles to kind of make
They did the Star Trek. They did the Star Trek. Flip, ship's going this way. Flip the camera. Ship's going that way. Flip the film. Ship's going this way. Perfect. So now I know how to do a watch along, and I don't need you that deep, Vince. No, I'm just kidding.
You need it way more than you think. No.
But if I didn't think I was able to pull it off, but it was the headset was the key. We would have been able to do it yesterday, but I didn't want the sound to bleed over.
Stop, you asses.
Excalibur has the best use of the Song of Wolf Fortuna. Oh, there's a lot of notifications. Ooh, what the hell was that?
So after this movie, do you set the vote thing again for the next batch or the next in the batch that you already had picked?
What I might just do is I might just go into the next highest one, which looks like it's going to be Midnight Meat Train.
All right. You got to let Forth be a commentator on that. I mean, that's his whole.
Yeah, I definitely have one there.
Yo, that was graphic for its time, pulling an arrow right out of his back.
I can't believe there's people cheering the Marvels to fail. I'm like, what? Wow, don't you got a sports team? Where's your sports team to cheer for? Shit, people are just fucked up.
We'll probably talk about that a little bit here, and then when we get to the Saturday night the stream.
And I just finished setting up. Yay! All right, let's go into the theater. I like this thumbnail. I'm starting to love my own thumbnails. Some of them suck though. I looked at some of the old ones. I'm like, well, that one sucked.
Well, the one we did the other night about the Roadrunner movie getting canceled.
Oh, it could have been funnier too. Like I said, I was planning on gonna put, how he runs through the wall and it's just his imprint of him running into the wall. I was gonna put that, but I was I didn't have enough time.
Or just like him holding him. He finds out he's walked off the cliff. He just holds up the sign.
Yeah, and he just goes down. Or you look down on the ground, and when he hits, that poop of smoke that comes up. There's a lot of that.
Which all that would have been.
I always love
the situation I ran into.
I always love when the coyote would paint a tunnel into a rock and the roadrunner would run through it and the coyote would try to chase through it. I always love that.
And he slams head on it. Yeah, I think we're about wrapping up the movie pretty soon here.
Yes, we have approximately. Yeah, everybody's dead. We got 26 minutes, but pretty much everybody's kind of.
This
dead.
is much shorter than all our streams last week, there, William.
I know. This was supposed to be part of all that.
Yeah.
All right, so the stream is ready. We can get out of there. We can go on to YouTube now.
Yeah, that is.
It's weird where it needs.
Oh
yeah, I forgot. You're in it. Yeah, you're in it. Yeah, I'm about to. Oh yeah, it's online now.
Yeah, my boy Aang there, right above.
I like this one. I think I might want to get this one tattooed on my back.
Well, there.
Yep, I figured you'd like that because that's going to be your part.
Yeah, of course you got all the Rebel Moon stuff there. The way Apocalypse, the illustration you chose, it's like it does make him look a lot like Darkseid, though.
Yeah, and then I wanted to get this is the wraparound. I actually had this book. This was the wraparound cover from the issue 1 of this series, and it was cool. Let's see, Twitter. Go to Twitter. Twitter home X. I want to. This is me multitasking, so if I fuck up something, you might knock us offline or some shit. Again. Tonight. Oh. I got some money in my pocket.
The trademarked William Cox rant.
What happened?
your guy Clint.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It'll be well deserved from those motherfuckers, boy.
I
That's
know
for
you're
sure.
paying
It's them and AT&T deserve everything they got coming from them.
Well,
Cox
like I've
out
said,
here is, like,
AT&T,
terrible.
they did help us get the Snyder cut out, so they can't be all bad.
Okay.
Oh, Clint. No, I can absolutely assure you that's not the case. You're just trolling.
What is it? What did he say?
He's-
You're loving the duck.
No. No. And you guys' infatuation to it is quite disturbing and scary. So, enough there.
Yeah, I feel like the village burning scene in the trailer is going to be either pulled from here or that earlier part in the movie. It's going to it's going to factor heavily into that. It's a much bigger village too.
Yeah. Plus, the ones on a different planet. So.
How many planets are we going to see all told in Rebel Moon? It's
See, that's I heard it's like 11. Is it like 11?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, something like that.
Wow.
know what? I'm gonna pat myself on the back.
For what?
That's a pretty cool thumbnail, man.
Yeah,
it
it
just
is.
bleeds in together, you know. I tried some new things with it, you know, and I got everything on there.
Yeah, and there's a lot on there. But still, like I said, it's like if the one from a few nights ago, if it involved Wile E. Coyote running into something and getting flat, that would have been so much more perfect.
I threw that together because I'm like, oh, we're gonna have to talk about this because I know people are gonna try to reroute this into something else, and how could they do this? James Gunn's gonna kick down the door and walk out. And I'm like, no, he's not.
You know what? I mean, this would be more of a GIF, so I don't know how you could do this thumbnail, but maybe this given like the intro to it. But I always loved what I always particularly loved with Wile E. Coyote is when he tries to set up a catapult, throw a rock at the Roadrunner.
Yeah,
rocket power.
Yeah,
you know,
and he chops like the rope, and it doesn't work, and he goes on. He tries to stomp it to get it to work, and then the base flips over on top of him.
And I'm like, dude, you still continue to buy shit from Acme. Either you're too stupid to operate it.
In business.
It would be funny though. They would open up these cartoons, and he's running. Roadrunner's running at his superhuman speed, and Coyote's running at his superhuman speed. Well, it's like, wow.
And then it would do the explanation in Latin of their names.
Yeah. And Wile E. Coyote is running with a knife and a fork and a little bit of handkerchief. Like, what are you gonna do when you catch him? I mean,
that shit's classic, man.
He's using the rockets and shit to go find them, and like you got all this machination. You can't outrun a bird.
Any of the ones where he tries
that doesn't fly
to launch,
yeah,
he'll light the fuse in the back, and then he'll be the thing that gets blown up, and the rocket will still be there just fine.
Yeah, and Roadrunners can fly. I'm correct, right? They are a bird.
Yeah, we got them out here. They run though. They run on the. I don't know if they fly, but they run on the ground. You see them. Don't you guys got them in Nevada?
I don't go out that far in the wilderness, buddy. We got coyotes out here too, and I stay the fuck. Listen, if I see a coyote, that's like when I lived in California. If I saw a bear, we turn around, turn around. You know what, man? I am of the theory that mankind and animals are not met to let's see, Roadrunner. I can't believe I've gone this tight in my life without although capable of flight. So see, it's over. If you're being chased by a carnivorous canine-looking thing, and you don't fly, the cartoon shows, come on, man. Although capable of flight, Roadrunners generally run away from predators on the ground. Some have been clocked at 20 miles an hour. Bull fuck.
I'm telling you.
Okay, how fast can a coyote run? I'm pretty sure it's going to be faster than
your guy Clint got what I was laying down with the Latin with the Latin names for the coyote and the Roadrunner.
Oh yes, in the real world, coyote can run up to 30 miles on a road cutter. Yeah, so it says here they can get up to 20, but yeah, if the Roadrunners got them by 10, yeah, fastest Maximus. Hey, look, it's time to it's edible o'clock. I got done watching It Could Happen to Nick Cage and Bridget Fonda, and what's he talking about? What movie? What you talking about, Chappie? Happened to You with Nick Cage and Bridget Fonda. Very cool movie. Oh, It Could Happen to You. Okay, you got to put that in capitals because I think that's part of your sentence. I'm like, what's he talking about? Okay, gotcha. All right, let's see. How fast can a coyote run? Oh, wow. No. A coyote can run 35 to 43 miles an hour. So I don't care if the bird ain't flying, the bird's getting caught in 8.
So that's letting us know that Wile E. Coyote's a fuck up that has to go to Acme to compensate for not being an adequate coyote. That's the reason why he goes.
You need machines. You need Acme to compensate for what you're supposed to be able to do.
Exactly.
You what a shitty coyote.
Your shit excuse for a coyote, right?
The coyotes is a species of canine native to both North America. Wow, these things weigh a lot, dude. They're 46 pounds, adult. Carnivorous, squirrel, insects, frogs, lizards, wild turkey. Oh, that doesn't have to outrun that. Holy shit, it eats out everything. It's like a garbage, it's like a raccoon.
Yeah, they're all.
But they'll eat cats, yeah. They're here too. Like North Las Vegas, my parents live there, and it's like people are posting like, "Oh, I just saw a coyote." You're in the desert.
That's exactly.
They're out here.
That's you're in there.
There's scorpions and shit too out here that I don't need. Let's see where we at here. How much long we got left here? We got 14 minutes left. This movie takes a long time to wind down too. By the way.
Yeah.
That's
I love how as it's wrapping up, we're talking about the coyote.
I know we're like, sorry, people. I mean, this is what's up.
You put in that thumbnail. It's just I'm pondering like how it could have been funnier.
I was just like I said. I got home. I had a couple of minutes because I've gone from just doing the Midnight Expresses and just a basic logo. If I have time and I know there's going to be a specific topic, I'll go ahead and throw in the I'll throw in something like that, like a actual topical thing. But a lot of times before, I was just getting home right in time to flip on the lights, eat, and go do it. But now it's like, well, Coyote, let's do it. There you go, Justice League. That's not Justice League.
Yeah.
We should take a picture of all this stuff and like put them together. I'm pretty sure somebody already has.
Yeah,
I'm a bonehead, so that means somebody smart already probably done this. When fishing, I would throw rocks at. Oh, coyote. Yeah, that's my last name. Yeah, I mean, coyotes generally avoid humans. The problem that they cause over here is like little dogs and little cats and shit. They'll eat them right up. Rabbits, if you have small pets that aren't like large dogs, like a large dog, coyotes will scram. They don't eat. Throw something at them, they'll run. A wolf, that's different. Wolves are like, fuck you. We'll rip you and your dog apart and share it with our friends. I'm starving, dude. I'm gonna probably eat the styrofoam with Sister Kim's today. Hey, Brad, you're gonna have to show up on one of the streams wearing what that guy on the right's wearing.
As long as I don't have to shave my head.
I mean, you won't punch through the coffin in the dirt, so you got to do something. Like, I'm starting to think you're not as legit as Kung Fu guys. You,
yeah,
you're not willing to do all the all the prerequisite stuff, man.
I'll smash a block of ice on camera with my forehead, and everybody will.
Oh, cool. Cool. Nah, you said it. We're doing it. That.
I've seen actually pretty crazy. I've seen some pretty crazy demos in my. I remember like one time I saw. I don't know, is the channel Versus still around? I haven't seen it in a long time, but there was this one demo.
I don't think so.
Where there's this one demo I saw where this guy. It was an event called Creative Breaking, where people like get really crazy with how they break bricks and boards and everything. This guy had conditioned his fingers and such for like snake strikes and things like that, where he was able to put his index finger through an unopened Coke can.
Okay, we need to stop talking about that. I'm getting grossed. I'm squeamish about certain things. I just imagine that. I'm like, we not stop. This is actually the coolest scene of the movie. One of them.
Yeah.
Because there's no way mounted cavalry should be able to be outdone this way, and they are. Look at this. That's not that can't happen. If you're on mounted cavalry, that's like the advantage. You're supposed to send scouts, and you're never supposed to rush in. Even with tanks, like modern day cavalry, which is what tanks are, you have aircraft that go ahead of you. But before aircraft, like the cavalry in the Civil War, you send in a couple horses.
These were their last 13 guys.
Because now you've lost the advantage of. Yeah. Last 13 Ronin. Only one of them's a Ronin, actually. And they're armored, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This battle should not be going this way, but it does. Look at that. Look at that. They're all fucked up now.
Like, oh shit, we're out of
here. They drew them into this. They let them come into the city. I don't know if they were planning on using the rain as a trap, but
that's what you send scouts for. And your horses, you were better off not having your horses on, or having on your horses, because they can't. There's no traction, and the horses are going to be spooked. Now look at that. They're just basically running them back and forth and grinding them down. Now he figured it out, but it's too late. Yep. Smarter on their end, but that strategy really shouldn't have worked, but it did. Look at that. Now they're in that maze.
That's the samurai.
You're the attacking force, but you don't. But the guys on that guy, the mounted guys have to send a guy ahead to get the layout of the land. You just don't roll in there.
Yeah.
You send one guy ahead. He looked at it and said, "Oh, they got shit here. They got shit there. We should probably do this." They just ran in like literally Wile E. Coyote.
and with nearly the same outcome.
And what you generally do, like in the Art of War, basically, is you send in the mounted infantry in first, and then they are back up. So they engage the ground people, especially if you have numbers, because they have some serious numbers here. Then the cavalry, that's why they call them the cavalry, by the way, because they come in to save your ass. Oh, well.
But it started out with 20, and they whittled them down to the last 13, which were after they got rid of the guns, right?
Yeah. So every major advantage they had, just they didn't have brains, so.
Yeah.
You're all dressed up to die. Then they jack their horses. That's a bad day right there. It's like if you watch Battle of the Bastards on Game of Thrones, Jon Snow almost got himself killed because he got tricked into going ahead of the cavalry.
Yep.
Oh, here's a good one from Chappie. I'm sure he's trolling. We need to do a ghost.
They're all trolling. They're just here for me now. We need to do a Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance watch along. I think no, he may be serious.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing I remember thinking too about that because that has Kieran Hines as Mephisto in it. And then he had the theatrical Justice League and then finally Zack Snyder's Justice League. So talking about his trajectory as playing super, it's like it really was like third time was the charm for him. Yeah, we're all done here. We got our asses kicked.
I mean, they had no chance with that strategy.
I got a question for you, William.
What's up?
Where they brought the Dweller in the Darkness in. What were they going to do with that? So you have Cathan and you have the Dweller of Darkness, and we're going on the Kang way of doing things. So what do you see about those two? Where were they going with that?
There's still levels of their current storytelling that they can use in all the demons. Yeah. All the demons, you can use them with any Scarlet Witch. You can use them with any of that. You can use them with Doctor Strange. So yeah, and that's what I mean. They can still have these stories, but the main overall galactic things, and the mega demons, like Dormammu, all those are at the level of like the cosmic beings. And I think the resolution with the way they're going to do this is going to be a combination of these demons, especially the elder demons, and the galactic forces, because they exist side by side. Magic and science exist side by side. So I think that's what's going to be. That's why I think Scarlet Witch and her powers, it's all leading toward the same thing.
And as bad as Thor 4 is, they did spend some time emphasizing Eternity, the entity of Eternity, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, the one that cost because Thanos was so stupid, he wanted to merge with Eternity. I remember that. Oh, let me put down this gauntlet that has all the power and let my burnt up niece pick it up and undo everything. Oh, really good. It's kind of chilly.
Yep, there's that flag again.
I was pleasantly surprised on how much I enjoyed Peacemaker, because I did not think I was going to enjoy it, but I absolutely did. There does not need to be a season 2. There really does not need to be a season 2. There doesn't. Please, James Gunn, just don't need it. Just concentrate on some of the other characters. Please, concentrate on some of the other characters.
You got Film Junkie up there?
Yeah, I just got the notification he's on the air. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
It's going to be cutting into my numbers. No, I had him up. He automatically comes up when there's a notification. He's talking about Rebel Moon trailer 2. He's talking about Marvels. The only thing that he's talking about that I'm not going to be talking about is he's got the Superman release date. We'll talk about that, but other than its release date, there's no news. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Haters can be haters, but I love Nick. Listen, a lot of people like that movie, and a lot of people like Nick Cage. I not my guy, but definitely a guilty pleasure of my full on Batshit Grindhouse edition, and plus my my full on Nick Cage. Yeah, I mean it's definitely an acquired taste, All right, how much time we got left in this Odyssey? Up 2 movies. It's 2 minutes. It's almost gone. Yep, all the burials. Now look at her. Look at her. You remember her? Remember that head? Look. Now think Rebel Moon.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah. Yeah. Well, her is this Duna Bay is of course the hat is kind of got more of a Korean influence on it, but yeah, definitely see the intentional parallels Zach is creating with this.
I see your thumbnail, William. I see what you did.
Yeah. Oh, which one? You're looking at
the new one? Yeah.
I still think it was. It's great. It's great, but I mean, it's like it's only there would have enough room to include like Wile E. Coyote getting flattened or something.
Well, if that was the news of the day, I might, but today's news is different. And like I said, obviously we're gonna talk some stuff, but I mean, we're gonna like I said, we're gonna talk about the Superman release date. I just didn't want to put it in the thumbnail because I didn't think it was that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Now it like moving up to like March of 2025 maybe would have been a big deal, but you telling me about some shit that's like damn near 2 years away, I just can't. It doesn't matter what it is either. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is or how positive it is. If it's that far away, I just don't care. It's like, damn it.
Well, how long out was the Superman as Henry Cavill getting knocked into the safe released before the movie?
He was about I think he was announced like 2010, so that was about like 2-3 years ahead of it.
I'm talking about. I'm talking about the picture. The scene. Where he gets fair.
Oh yeah, with the safe. Yeah, that
was a picture they released at first.
Yeah, I remember that one very well.
Knocked into the safe. So I wonder how long that was.
I want to say that was probably I want to say that's probably like early 2012 when I first saw that one. I think that's probably about when it dropped.
About a year out.
I didn't start caring about it. I didn't start caring about it. All right, here we go. Finish.
Yeah, and that's Seven Samurai, everybody.
All right, guys.
and it's
Yo, Jimbo, that's another one right there.
one of our preludes to Rebel Moon here.
Countdown, March to Rebel Moon.
So you're gonna eat
So
before the stream, or are you gonna show your food off in the stream and then go
No,
through the
I am
torture of the
going
entire
to-
stream with the food next to you, not eating
This
it?
is exactly what I'm planning on
Oh
doing.
man,
Because I like to be at home. I don't like eating here. I like to be at home when I eat.
I got you.
So yeah, I like to be at home because when you're eating, it's like symbol. It's a symbolism of your home. The day's over. You made it. Blah blah blah. So all right, guys. I
right.
think we will talk about this in detail as we get more movies under our. We'll do more of a breakdown. Especially, I was gonna do a breakdown part of the night, but we went a little bit over in 2. I want to wait till we see the trailer tomorrow. Then we talk about this and that at the same time. I think that'd be the perfect opportunity. So for everybody who's here, thank you. Cool. I mean, so some of you guys will come and go because it is a very long movie. I will see you in an hour and 15 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this
All right.
up.
Have a good
See you
stream
guys at
later.
9 o'clock. All right, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right.